mo go reng re lo ikitsise lo re ikitsise nna ke bidio a taolo boipuso Lucas ke mo palamente wa bobirwa ke modulasetilo wa committee ya public accounts. Honorable members,
Jamelina ke bidio Victor Phologolo mo palamente wa Kanya West. Gore tse ke kgonegile Maung East.
Sam Dirwa mo palamente wa Botete West.
Ke bidio ya Boniface Mabeo mo palamente ya Gamalete.
Uncle Shimamonageng, Parliament wa Molepola South.
Individually, Petsu Lesedi, Sarah South MP, member of this committee.
the AGs, the three AGs, introduce yourselves, please.
Good morning, Matlhabane Puso for the Attorney General.
Good morning, ke bidiwa Ndula Mohubona go tswa ko Ministering of Finance, ko officing ya Accountant General.
Good morning. My name is Kidibonyi Mochotli from Office of the Accountant General. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Janet Mahana from the Office of the Auditor General.
Good morning. My name is Seno Hausikelu, Office of the Auditor General.
My name is Amanda Mulefi, Technical Advisor to the PAC.
Thank you very much. County Officer?
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson. Good morning, Honorable Members and your team, sir. I'm the Accounting Officer in the Ministry for State President, but I'll be appearing here, sir, to talk to the accounts for the former Ministry of Defense, Justice and Security.
Thank you. I'm Regiso Talabovedi.
Talabovedi, sir.
Now we charity.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. My name is Kennedy Sohobe. I'm the Chief Accountant for former Ministry of Defense, Justice and Security. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I kira ha ngoba baka botsa gore ke eng go ngotala bobedi. O tala bobedi ka gore kana go eo kile kana go ya dibuka tsa gompieno o ne gona le Ministry wa Defense, Justice and Security. Yan mo dibuke o ditilong tse jalo. Se se bonang ata la bobedi ata go arabela. Me ke re leboga thata gore go kgonne go bonala go tshimologong ba kwale dine ba ntse ba supa gore go thatanyana gore ka gore o hetso yana o sa thole o le teng o ikemetse re bone mongwe me you managed to come re leboga thata re ka ikana jaanong ra thopa gore ka ikana ka Bible kgotsa ka affirmation ka simola ka wena accounting officer
Re tla dirisa Bible, sir.
O ka dirisa Bible pata go nela Bible ka dinao o ba le tsola go la molema mo Bible o tsholetsa la
Mamorekisi. Swear by Almighty
Bible. Swear by Almighty God.
Swear by Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give.
That the evidence that I shall give.
Before this Committee of Parliament.
For this Committee of Parliament.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing else but the truth.
And nothing else but the truth.
So help.
went through some rationalization where the security wing of the ministry was transferred, the justice wing was transferred to form Ministry of Justice. And then the ministry remained as the Ministry for Defense and Security. And further rationalization was also done, say, in November, where the ministry was further disaggregated, and the defense and security part went to the Ministry for State President, while other wings like the Botswana Prison Service went to join the Justice Department. Therefore, the ministry, as it was from the beginning, had its mandates being to take care of the national defense, to take care of international boundaries, internal security, arms and ammunition, policing services, coordination, the management of chemical, biological, and radiological and nuclear toxins, weapons, the private security, the military veterans, and the rehabilitation of prisoners. So it is clear, said, that when the disintegration, or when the ministries were, the mandate was disintegrated, these responsibilities were now given other bodies. The Botswana Police took the Botswana Police mandate, they went with it, and the accounting officer for the Botswana Police had already appeared here to answer for the issues of Botswana Police. And BDF mandate was given to BDF as they were reporting directly to the President, and their mandate was also given to Office of the President. And the other mandates that were the prisons went to Justice, and because by then Ministry of Justice had not been formed yet, some of the mandates still have gone there, and mandates such as the Legal Aid Botswana, they have gone to Justice Department. So today, say, as both prisons, police, and BDF have already appeared, we will be talking on the remaining mandates, which is the Safety and Security Division, the Drug Enforcement Agency. The defense, like I said, has already been given to BDF, but there are some aspects of the defense that still remain within the ministry part. And I do have my colleagues here who will help me. The CBRNM, which is the chemical, biology, radiological, and nuclear issues are also part of the mandate that we will be dealing with, sir. Let me now take you, sir, through what legislations were dealt with in the year under review, which is the year that ended in March 2022. The ministry then had a number of legislations that they were dealing with, and let me just repeat, that some of them have now been taken to the relevant departments. And this included the Criminal and Procedure Evidence Act, which is now taken to Ministry of Justice, the High Court and the Magistrate Court Act, the Legal Practitioner Bill, the Refugee Protection Act, and the Penal Code Amendment Bill. These have been taken to Ministry of Justice. And the Military Veteran Bill remained within Office of the President today, and it went through Parliament as an act now. And Botswana Defence Force Civilian Personnel Bill was dealt with, and I believe the BDF has dealt with that one, sir. And the legislation on the covert operation and intrusive investigation in compliance with Financial Action Task Force is one of those that is being dealt with by DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency. The legislation on Bail Act, it's gone to Ministry of Justice. The Sex Offender Registry Act, sir, it has remained with the Ministry of State President now, and it is under Botswana Police, but the act is being implemented directly on the side, hand in hand with Office of the President. The sentencing policy, they were all developed, and it is Botswana Police, but the ministry will also be working with Botswana Police on that one. Currently, sir, the bill that was then enacted also, it was the National Convention Arms Control legislation. This one, it is still under consideration, sir, and we believe it will be taken to Parliament soon. I did talk about the Department of the Drug Enforcement Agency, sir. This was the agency that was established in 22-23 to help in the issues of anti-money laundering. As you recall, sir, there was a time that Botswana was grey-listed because of issues of anti-money laundering, and there was a need for Botswana to actually enact some laws that will help to combat the issues of drug abuse and money laundering, because it was discovered Botswana. So the welfare management program was under the Ministry of MDJS then. It is now moved to Ministry of Justice. There was an issue that the ministry was dealing with then, the anti-human trafficking program. This is a transnational crime, say, that people traffic people either within the country or through the country. So there was a need as a country to ensure that we protect our own against human trafficking. Also to ensure that our territory and our borders are not used to traffic people. I do have my colleagues who, this is also one of the issues that has been transferred to Ministry of Justice. But in our midst today, there are some of my colleagues who dealt with these issues. Then, if the chairperson allows and there are any questions, they will assist in responding to them, sir. The other issue that I want to deal with, sir, is the Office of the Receiver. The Office of the Receiver, sir, is the office that was established also to deal with the process of crime. It is the office that is currently moved also to Ministry of Justice, and they were acting on court orders to seize and retain property or money, including real estate, livestock, plant, equipment, or household furniture, as per what the court will instruct them to do when cases were still being investigated. We have realized that over Yes, some money have been. The cases were closed, were given back to their owners or units that the veterans are taken care of. The ministry's project officers or mandate holders who are with us here today, sir, but we'll do our best to answer all the questions. Thank you, sir.
Nyane mira leboga and re utile kopo ya gago mme gore ba kgone gore ha bosupi kana gore bo ba ikanne potso e motho a ka e botsang gore ba justice ba teng ha
we have the receiver, he's here. We have the one dealing with the refugee management, she's here, sir.
Okay. Ga se gore gongwe re etsa hela ka go bona gore ba ta tlhokagala leng o ile gone re ka ba ikanisa ha ile gore gongwe batho tegi gongwe ga bana dipotso tse di thata o ka di araba.
We appreciate that, sir. Thank you, sir.
O ka di araba. Re tla kopa batho tegi gore ba simolole go buisanya le accounting officer. Re simolola gona le sengwe ka ko matutegi e ne le kolana go tswa ka ha botete le mau. Right, so Honorable Lesedi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Accounting Officer and team. Accounting Officer, go na le kganye ya sex offender registry act. What is the progress?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Sedi. Sex Offenders Act was passed through Parliament. It's been enacted. So currently we are taking the board members for approval. So once the board members are approved, say, we will start working on the registry of registering all the sex offenders. That's the update that I have, sir. Thank you very much.
How lebile accounting officer o dumela hore ke so se ska tsa nako e kae go appoint a board?
The cabinet memorandum has already been prepared and it is going to go through cabinet maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, sir. After which, if it's approved, then they will start working, sir. Thank you.
Sex Offender Registry Act. Your name, we just.
I am told that it was passed in 2022, sir.
Kamaikelo Lawari, Irhai Hita. Commencement date here, Nikali?
I'll come back to you with that answer,
okay.
sir. Yeah.
Because you see, you don't just pass acts. How do you have to do Parliament on our commencement date? It's trying to implement you. So we are now 3 years. I think that is why honorable member is concerned about it. They are sex offenders. Honorable member.
Sorry, maybe what would you sex offender what explanation would you give to clear the confusion?
According to the Act, sex offenders are people who have been charged with sex offenses, charged and convicted, and then they will be put in the registry. Such things like rape or any sexual assault that has been done. But I think the important thing is that somebody should have been charged, and so that you know there are a lot of hearsays on people. So you don't want to put people in the registry where there is not enough evidence. So I think the Botswana Police will be working with the courts to really ensure that people who are charged through the courts, charged for any sexual crime.
Charged and convicted.
Charged and convicted, say.
Okay.
For any sexual crime will now be put in the sex offenders.
Okay. Honorable Sedi,
yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman. No.
Okay. I get a account office.
We appreciate that, sir.
So I think you should expedite all processes. So that, yes.
Thank you, sir.
May I get your honorable below? Follow up. How we listen.
Commencement date, the record here will show that it was December 2021, not 22.
According to the records, wa go bua dilo hela di bodisa diragadiwe go tla re nakong o eme wa itse dio ha di builwe di bile di pasitswe tota di tshwanetse tsa diragadiwa me ano ka re ha ngwe la ha di sa diragadiwa re itumela hela re di buile and ha re di buile e ke gona ga re dirile tiro. I think this must come to an end. Re ke kgonegile right. So
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, me make wele mo go yona gore go accounting officer go ka ba gona le dingwe tsa ka re di tlhalosetsa re le this committee gore me gone ke engwe tse rena go e kana ke ra gore yana ha o boela back to December 2021 can see now it's for 4 years almost go ka bo go iragetse because tota tsolelo ne le gore ka be setse le mo tiriso.
Thank you, Honorable. I think we do appreciate that the it has taken so long. It has just been transferred to the Ministry for State President, of which we have already started the ball rolling. So, because this was in another ministry at another point in time, say, I'm not in a position just to say exactly what led to the delay, but we appreciate there has been a delay, and we request the Honorable PAC to help to appreciate the fact that we see the delay. We are speeding it up now that it is on our laps.
And speeding it up mean that you are committing to get it functional by approximately when, the end of the year?
Well, I think because the commencement has actually started off there, and these are just the implementation, the actualization of the implementation, putting the board together and finalizing the registry. We like I had said earlier on, the cabinet memorandum on the board has already been prepared. It is going through the consultation phase, and we believe within the next 2 or 3 weeks, it will go through cabinet, after which we will implement, and we believe we will implement long before the end of the year, sir.
Long before the end of the year.
Yeah.
We note long before the end of the year.
Yes, sir. We are taking it very seriously, sir.
Yeah, we are noting it.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Honorable Sedi?
Thank you, Chairman. Ke ko kganyeng ya di private security companies. Accounting officer, kuto bua dipalo-palo. Mme gongwe se motho a ka eletsang go se itse ke gore mo di-company tse le setse le dihile di-license about 5.1 yo ne o bua ka ena. Ke dile kae tse di complyang, ke tse di kae tse le ka bongwe le batsetsi di-license if gona le bangwe. Ko re potso ke e boletsa ko gore kana di-private security companies tse e re ntswala ha lona le ministry gongwe le dirisanyana tso sente. At the end of the day, gona le sello sa tsatsi le letsatsi se leng gore re bona bone bao ba dirisiwang gore go amogelwa ka bone le gore jaanong bone o ka re ba beilwe ka mosing ke sello le khuranyo ya meno ha wa kanya bana ba ma security ya private gore ba kgona go tsaya bo 3 months ba sa duelwe ba hirisitse ba tshela ya ka motho mongwe le mongwe a tshwantse go tshela le ministry le thusa jang gongwe gore go phelelong ya letsatsi bana ba ipone ba le bone le batho.
Thank you, Honorable. I think the ministry is aware, sir, of some of the companies that are actually flouting their license procedures. We have 1,860 companies that are active now, that we are constantly monitoring. And there have been some companies that violated their mandate, they violated their conditions, and of those, 17 have been cancelled. We cancelled their licenses, and some we are continuously. Earlier on, I had said that the over collection of our revenue was due to improved means of dealing, supervising. So because of that improved effort to supervise and deal with, we are able to monitor very closely any company that flouts the license conditions. So we are continuously doing that, sir. But to answer your question, we have cancelled 17, sir.
No. Ya utwala gore le cancel 17. Ono kile ba bua ka 1.8.
Yeah.
This 17 ora etswa mo go 1.8 or ke 17 yo go sele.
O considering the error of the out of the total that have registered, we've got 1.8 active. And as we continuously deal with those that have registered, 17 have been found not to be complying of the total that has been registered. And then those had to be cancelled.
Okay.
No, Artsene, what is happening? Can how work 1.8 out of 5.1? Hora or the remaining out of 1.8, correct? Or content has a 1.8. But I do understand, or it's a 17 is a one. This is the license. What is happening at the remaining number from 5.1? Ounce 1.8. What is happening? That's what.
I think, like any other business, you register because you hope to do business, and some of them have registered, but they are not doing business. So they are not active because they tender and maybe they are not getting the business that they want to have. So they will have the right to do the business when the time comes, but they will not be having business at a point in time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, County Officer. Yeah,
we mo yone ka ke kgaye ke dumelang gore mo parlamente mo di-officing tsa bone ba kopana le yone gantsi batho ba security ba ba hirile mo security ba ba re ga ba duelwa 2-3 months ke re ha ile gore gongwe o hetala go engwe mo ke ba he sebaka
nya o ka se ba ha chairman.
Thank you, Chair. Gone mme the regulations tsa 2020 ya ka go kwadilwe di thusa go le kae mo seemong sone se sa dituelo kana di ka la go thusa go le kae mo seemong sa dituelo a re tse gongwe komponi ke e hilwe tiro ya duelwa mme ga e duele babereki. Last time mo parlamente go no go buiwa gore ke kganya labor ha se kganya lona le regulators. Sampele go ntse jalo kana the regulations have taken into account gore the operations in broad tsa security company they involve workers.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I think the regulations will ensure that you do all that is needed for your security company to run. And that includes ensuring that you've got adequate manpower that is paid properly, because you actually also have to state the amount of people that you are hiring and the amount of money that you are paying. So when there is a labor dispute, yes, the people who are engaged have got the right to go to labor, but it is also our duty to ensure that you comply. I know of a case where one of them, we actually revoked his license because it was very clear that habitually he was not paying the people. But this is under one gov. We deal with what we need to deal with, but we engage other arms of government, which are the labor people, to deal with their labor disputes there.
Hala motsetse license yalo ha go wa boa gape o dira security company ntso hiwa ke government gape ga blacklist iwe ke ra gore ke go motsala license hala so wa eta the following day it repeats the same thing.
People can actually appeal say, but forming, because when they form other security companies, it is mandatory to show the directorship of those companies. So when people go out of their way to deceive the system, we do our best to ensure that we look through the directorship of the people who are applying to be given licenses. And definitely if you defaulted before and it goes through the board and the board sees that, they will not give you another license.
Given the high magnitude and number of defaulters in line with non-payment of workers, study security company, don't you see the number one? Ya gore go revokilwe company license ele one had to be very, very extremely low.
In fact, I wanted to follow up, Mr. Chairman, through you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Ke ne ke batla go tlhaloganya gore in the last year, how many companies have you blacklisted?
Honorable Kekhonegile, you said revoking one. The answer here, we said we actually cancelled 70, not one. But blacklisting, can I request that my permanent secretary responsible for the security help me, sir?
Kita mo letelela mme kita jala ma parlamente nako ora gore honorable said ka dipotso tsa go di attract attention ntsi ha sna gore tlhalosetsa kita go hitala go honorable Monageng mare mmitse ka gore ga e botlhokwa thata e botlhokwa thata ka gore batho ba ba berekelang di security companies a ba tshetswe sentle wa itse bahiri ba bone mme jaanong I'll give you an example. Utsana go batho ba hirilwe ke company a Lord security ga di duele gate bone ba batla mo le go tsa cancel go tsa puso ga gona ha etsanang teng batho ba itsheke ba sokola thata mare ne le re o ka re mamrekisi ene o ka tswela hela tswile. Did you say that?
One of them.
Okay, all right. Right. Re mo kgang ye ya babereki ba security yaanong accounting officer o rile o to re thuse yaanong re kopile gore le wena o to ikana o ikana ka baebele kgotsa ka affirmation. Thank you, sir. I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give before this Committee of Parliament shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. So help me God. Yes. Ke tsa gore o ntse o twa dipotso tse neng di bodiwa ne re kopa gore ka bo hetshwana o hete ka tsone ke tla letelela mapalamente tse pedi go tsong hong go tse tharo re go re tlhaloganye sentle kgang ye ya babereki ba security mo Botswana ga gona le bangwe babereki ba ba beilweng ka mosing thata ke bone mme ebile kgantelo di thasa ba ikuela kae se
ka leboga modulasetulo ke dumedise le maloko a komiti go ntse a lo re na le dingongore go tsa babereki ba di-company tsa security gongwe ke simolola ka go thatswa yone ya gore ke eng re ne re kgang ke kgang ya mohiri le mohiriwa e be nna kgang ya labor ke sone se gantsi re reng ke kgang ya labor ga be re lebile gone gore security company o operate legally o na le mohiri yo a mohirileng mohiri yo ha sa itumela sepe se mohiri wa go sa se direng sentle thata go tsamela le tuelo mmereki yo o ka sala morago di tsamaiso tsone tsa go labor go bata madi a gagwe kante dituelo tsa gagwe mo company eo mme le ha molao rona o sa re lete gore re ka tsereganya go rabata madi a on behalf of mmereki yo molao re leta gore ha company sa comply le one molao wa private security re ka etseela dikgato tse re di etseelang re kgona go tseela company dikgato ka gore ga ya duela babereki ka gore gone mo hela ka bogone go ira gore private security services di ska tsa tsamaisiwa sentle so gantsi nyana se re se dirang re dirisana le lephata la labor ko babereki ba setseng ba kile ba ikuela teng ko labor go na le mekwalo e supang gore ba ikuetse ko seemo se ntse jalo re lebisa di-company tse mabaka one ao gantsi se re se dirang re ba neela nako gore ba arabe yone kgang eo ya gore go na le kgang ya gore ga na duela babereki ke ba batswe go itshupa ko labor be ba hiwa nako e rileng bo 21 days 30 days morago ga sebaka seo ha ba sa dira jalo jaanong body ya private security licensing e na le sebaka sa gore e ka ba tseela license gore ga ba ke ba tswelela ba gweba jalo ka mo go yone tiro So dingwe tsa dilo tse re dirang ke gore re go di-company tsone tse re kopana le jone bodiredi ja di-company being the security guards le management wa di-companies go leka go ba rutuntsha ka gore molao wa reng ha dilo di sa tsamaye sente le babereki le ka tsa dikgato dihe le lona company ditlamorago tsa go sa dira dilo sente e ka nna dihe mo di-company tse di supiwa di tseetswe tiseletso mo ngwageng o itileng bontsi ja tsone ne le tse di ileng mo go yone thulaganyo yone eo ne re tsamaise ka yone thulaganyo ke tsa gore ke tota ga re o nkgakolola ka blacklisting go rona ga re blacklist re tsa gore ga o tseetswe license o sena license gore a re ga o operate.
Okay,
Chairman.
Honorable Lesedi,
ke ne ke re hela jaaka sentse e tshwere yana go ngwa re tlhalosetse gore a mme ba we e le ministry gore gona le bone ba tabong ba ile le ba bang mo e leng gore mo mabake a mangwe ko morago bontsi ja nako ba tabong ba sa liba mo di-company tse dingwe ba tshaba gore disclosure ya maina a bone ba o hella ba kubiwa mo tirong a se mo se ba le ministry a ba we ka sone.
Ke a leboga honorable member. Re se mo se ra se itse ra se tlhaloganya mereki o kgona gore e re ha na le matshwenyego ao a ba tshaba go supa matshwenyego ao a dumela gore ka o santse a tshwere tiro ba go montsha mo tirong ba rona gape go dingalo gore re ka re a komponi pero re nyaka re na le ngongorego ya gore ga o duele re itse gore ga o a duela babereki jana le jana le jana mme re sa kgone go supa. So ke sengwe se e leng gore se le rona ra se tlhaloganya ke sone se gantsi ha re ile di-inspectioneng ha re buile le bone di-guards le di-employee re be re tlhaloganya gore gone mme go na le ha ba ka seke ba itshupe gore nna o ka presenta leina la me ga ke a duela mme gone seemo sa rona re le bodiredi ja company sa tshwenya ka gore ga re duelwe kante re duela late ha re hetsa di-inspection tse go na le feedback e re hangone management one wa di-company tse gore mme dingwe tsa dilo tse re di setseng mo di-inspection tse ke gore go diragala jana le jana mo di-company tse re tabe re ntse re gongwe re le beile leitho go bona gore a dilo tse di tsamaya sentle.
Mr. Ramkati, kore a kere mo di-officing tsa bogolo jang tsa mapalamente ke dumela le one ma-councilora tota ba tshwengwa ke dikgang tse tsa gore di-company tsa bone ga di ba duele kore seo ka se gakololang ke eng ga batho ba ta ko di-officing tsa rona kgotsa le bone tota ba berekiwa re ka ba gakolola gore ba dira jang ba because labor gone gangwe o ba ile go tsaya lebaka le a re ka ba gakolola gore nya mme office ya Raramokati ke ye mo tshwareng le ipobole.
Ke a leboga Molestilo ba ka re tshwara le rona ba ipobola ba supa se se diragalang go di-componeng tseo ka re se ta ira gore le rona re tsenye leitho teng ko re kgone go thodumela gore go diragala mo di-componeng tseo ba ka re tshwara ga gona molao
re kile gore re le mapalamente to batla le tsone di-number tsa gago kare batho ba bantsi ba sa tsewe sentle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. PS, issue ya ma security e dingalo thata ba ga ba tshele sentle thata. Ke batla go tlhaloganya dilo di le mmalwa. Ke batla go tlhaloganya gore ka gore ma security ba tlile go nna ba kana go rona ba rotlhe dilo tsa bone di go godimo thata di dintsi. It makes me believe gore go ngwe sengwe ga se dire sentle. Ene go tla go tlhaloganya gore publicity ya lona le dira jang gore ba kgone go itse gore ba ikuela ko kae ebile this year le dirile eng to do that. For instance ha ile gore le na le dijingle ko radiong, do you have those? Do you have adverts on newspapers? Do you have adverts on television? Do you have a Facebook page or somewhere where you advocate gore ba kgone go itse because ba ntsi ena ba na le mathata a mantsi but na ke se ke utlwe sepe ke se ke bone gope go kodilwe ka lona, so maybe you make us aware of that. Also I want to understand PS gore this year alone le rile di surprise inspections sky ala tele di tsamaye mo la o tlhola ma security hal se ira yalo bi ke tla le ko utse Go police college. There's a loud cry then go. Yama security. A very big cry then go. Liet then go. Ke batla go tlhaloganya gape gore di course ha re la ba trainer ka melao this year alone le train ba ba le kae. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mabeo. Unko di gareletse tsa security di botlhokwa thata di kgantse raitso. Na ebile ke itumela le go bona wena Mr. Ramokate gore ka re tare ha motho a bua ya le ke mogala wa Ramokate kiwo. E bua le ene ka gore na o itela re palwa ke go dira rabololo.
Ke a leboga modulasetulo. Re na le di-programme tse ne re tsene mo go tsone mo radiong thata mo ngwageng o hitileng. Re ke ra go di-private radio station thata ke dumela gore ko Duma FM re ke ra teng re ke ra ko radio Botswana tota mo di-programmeng tse e leng gore di na le phone in ha re sena go bua re thalosa re tella di-phone line gore di bulwe be ba ka kgona gore ba kgele ba re botse dipotso ke sengwe se ntse re se dira office ya rona ya se dira modulasetulo wa committee yone ya private security licensing mo go tse dingwe wa ba le teng le ene gore a ikutlwele ka itseele ka tsebe re Facebook page ya the Ministry of Defence and Security ne re nna re ntsha mabaka mo teng ga ntse re le ka go supa gore re dira eng re sola di components tsa security di itse jang ha go tsamaya go tsena go ba bereking di direng me ke tsa gore ga go le rona ne re dumela gore ga go lekane ne re tshwarwa yala ke tsone di tsompelo gore di ane di re tshwara re sa kgone go goroga gore ba ta goroga teng re na le association tsa private security licensing di le pedi go na le emetseng di-company go na le emetseng bone bodiredi ja private security services ba na le di-representative mo boarding yone ya private security licensing board so ke batho ba e le gore gantsi ha re na dikgang re le ka gore di tsamaise ka bone le bone re ba kgone gore ba di tsetse dikgang tse di tswang ko malokong a bone mme gone ne go lebega ba santse ba na le thata yone association ya bodiredi e santse e na le bothata jone ja ditsompelo le yone ne ba itela gore le ha ba le association yana ba legally registered go kgona go goroga ko malokong a bone ga go motho ka go thoka tsone ditsompelo di-inspection re dirile di-inspection le ngwaga o tota re di dirile mme honorable Mabeo ya ka gore re tsenya leitho ko tse di gona di-inspection tse re di dirang ka yone information e tshwanang le e taere nya mme re bona seemo ko boketekete ka re ga sa nna sentale ka go thodumela re taya ko tse mo gone gongwe pele ga kgwedi e tang e wela re taberile ko ke tsa gore ba reeditse ba ipaakanya go ba teng ga rena bo ithela go le bothata.
Thank you. Last question on private security.
Ke kopa go ba fa kgakololo fela. Do you have a comprehensive communication strategy? If not, please work on that strategy. Work on a detailed and comprehensive communications plan at least, specifically to address this problem, because this is a very big problem. I offer myself, or that draft you can email to me. I will also try to assist. I'm a communication specialist. I offer myself. You need to have a detailed, comprehensive communication strategy that addresses this. This is a big crisis. Yeah. From here we say jalo, so that my security I thank you.
Thank you very much. Kakulo ki ora ramukate melo ena re lebogela le rona re ma parlamente ra itso ruteng le one body teng go ra gore tare ha re kopana go bothokong or ne le details tsa lona re tle re kgone gore re thusa batho a re tsweleng pele ke tsena mo go ena honorable Monageng.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Eu batho re go golole
Chairman, ha re tse advantage right now go ngwa bua number e tshwantse e ba ka iletsang just for publicity, just that one number e ba ka iletsang
aro ta itse morago is fine ta itse morago
twala landline.
O na a re mo leteleleng gore o ta itisa morago tota yone e batiwa kwa but o ta itisa morago ke a go letelela o ta itisa morago ga ngwe ebile ka nna tisiwa ke nna ena ke le bolelela gore number e le kie sorry raramokate o ka re ba re tse dingwe ba go thoka teng a siretsene ko mading right, Honorable Monageng.
Thank you, Chairman. And welcome, Accounting Officer and your colleagues. I often have 3-4 questions, very short questions. The first one, you talked about the livestock and the receiver, livestock kept by the receiver. Where is this livestock kept? And what are cost implications in keeping them?
Di bewa kae dikgomo tse kgotsa leruo le a kere ke yone potso ya gago leruo le bewa kae
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Honorable Monageng. As you are aware, sir, that this is confiscated livestock out of a crime scene or a crime that has been committed. So the place where they are kept is we are trying not to divulge where it is for security purposes, so that we don't tell those that the cattle have been taken from them to follow up and go and take it. But definitely there is cost implication because earlier on I said we are trying to preserve the value of everything that we've taken from people. So it means in the meantime, they're going to be fed, they're going to be vaccinated, they have to have somebody taking care of them. So there's a lot of financial implications, and that is the budget that the receiver will go and request through Parliament to say, as we are keeping all this property of other people, they need to be taken care of properly, so that by the time the court finish with their issues, I had said earlier on that at times when the court finish, they will be instructed to take it back to their owner. So we want the owner to receive his goods in the way that he had handed it to government, sir.
Thank you.
What a ride.
Thank you, sir. Mamrex, wa go letlelelo gore go itswe ko di beilweng teng mme ntlha tse dingwe tse le ra itse ro tlhegela gone mo ntlweng ya gore di beilwe kae tse di ko ramoalusi
ramme ke maikelo le gore re se ra dira jalo se gore re di beye di le safe for bang ga tsone le for the state, sir. So
I'm saying this because Mamrex ka gore kana ha di setse di le mo mabelong wanao e be le sa bolelle bone ba ba di tlhokomela ba re bolella gore kana ano dikgomo tse di a swa di a reng sometimes ba ta go rona as members of parliament to say this is too much for government dikgomo tse di a swa gormente wa lusa mo go tsone ra di tlhokomela ra di jesa ka go nna luba kore ba re bolella they come to us and plead with us gore office ya lona e dire sengwe ka bohego ka tsone meanwhile lona le emetse kgotlatshekelo e leng gore ga re itse gore e tla netla. Now I'm sorry to have divulged this information ka gore ba tla go gonna ba mpolela gore kana dikgomo tse le tsa ga se mammantsele yaanong ke mathata.
It means that people who are given the custodian of confidential information are actually breaching that confidentiality. They are not supposed to do that, sir.
Chairman, I think I do understand what the accounting officer is saying on the issue of security and confidentiality. But when you consider the cost or the value, we're talking of according to this, le valuang over 2.4 million. Yeah, no. We are members of this committee. Parliament honorable Botswana and I we do reports and on how we do reports was a you are not responsible enough. Off camera, relay members of Parliament, members of this committee. And then gets our enough or spirits and jealous keep you alone. Yeah, what's an chairman?
Hey, Nakahuta Minikiri, Leronakana, Renzer Nalesabaka Savori, Recaba engager off camera. So let's add the sense on Sabaka Sahaba engage off camera. So that's Harry, Dina Timar,
100%. Good advice. Second question.
Nikibata without the lonely rule. Alu level hela from the records. Dinale wakaleka yukolona.
Thank
the
you.
Maximum period.
Thank you, Chairperson. Can I, like you are aware, said this is a court order that you confiscate based on the court order, and until the case is completed. So we can't say when, because we will also now depend on when the cases go through courts, and then there's a judgment, and then the judgment will determine whether the owner take it back or it is sold to retrieve costs. So because the time of the cases in court is something outside our influence, it is very difficult, say, to try to say how long we can keep, but some of them have been really kept for quite a long time.
Second question.
I don't know where the cost. So, how level the cost that they had end up to exceed the value of the animals kept.
Let me ask for help, sir. Don't see it. I'm being advised that since the formation of this office, we have not encountered any situation where the value of the asset that is with us, the cost of taking care of the value, the cost of taking care of the asset has not exceeded the value of the asset. But it's something that is continuously under review, and we will continuously report on it, sir.
Thank you very much. Honorable Monaging, can you continue with your engagement?
Let me chip in. Chairman Kahukopa. Thanks. Yeah, medical center law no accounting officer. Me, according to the in the Rahetse before. Hotsana Kuika, I or Luriola Muhuto, look at Soharakali, Lesets Modia Tenza receiver. Hotsana Kuika, Hore, Irhaki si hella. Yole Molebahanang a compensative kahor. Kirimela or Mokeselo Lucranio Ameno, Ucar Letza di Muaha Tota, Mobato by Halamba, by Tobo Rabata, Toba Baduel, Boba te could be seen Sarona, make on a inquiry, gongwe sengwe se tswe le tsaya nako e kae?
Can I be allowed, sir, to get assistant on this one, sir, from the Office of the Receiver?
Yeah, please provide further conferencing. You know, I think.
I'm being advised, Hori, we have never had a situation where we were not able to pay back when the court said we should pay. So I think that's the best that I can say, sir.
Was that your question?
No. Ko re ke belela gore ka gore o no bua ka conference chairman gongwe hangwe motho yo tabong advisor kana a neta ha karabo a ba se utwa sente tota nne kere potso ya me ke gore ha le ruo le ka swela mo go bone go tsana go e kae gore a le gore court e tabe e ntshitse judgment motho yo o tshwanelwang ke le ruo leo a duelwe e le compensation.
That was the question I had.
I think I did hear that question, sir, but because what I'm hearing is that it has not happened. Every time the court says give back to the owner, we have been able to give back to the owner according to what we have taken from her. And I'm told for error.
The issue here is how go tsale ba ka le lele court e hetse pronounce it motho a ise a nelo phimolo dikiledi ya gago ka gore le ruo la go le toka le sule so ke re are tsenyo le gore re tseye mo ga gore re le balebe gore a me go a diragala gore re court e hetse pronounce it bo go tsale ba ka le lele motho yo nga ise a duela
error. I hear that, sir, and I appreciate it. But what the officer of the receiver is saying is that up to now, when the receiver is instructed by the court to give back, they have done that. We have never encountered a situation where we needed to stay a long time with the assets of a person without paying them back.
I see I want to report the pairing, Gideon, the channel of that. Harialo, in Parliament, the Sapper, or our Honalabang of Tilim, because I'm Tilim, or not what he pronounces. Who dear really? No amount of defense really will help here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Remember my first question. Second question on security. How is the ministry addressing emerging security threats such as cybercrime, human trafficking, and cross-border crimes?
Thank you very much, sir. Earlier on, I did explain that we have the government has established the Drug Enforcement Agency, which deals with issues of human trafficking, the security of the human trafficking, and the security of money laundering. But as I had also said at the beginning of my presentation, sir, on the executive summary, the issues of cybercrime lies with the Ministry of Communications. They deal with it, but it falls under the whole policy on security, which currently there is the ministry is actually working on the development of the overarching security, National Security Act. They are working on that, but currently cyber security is within the Ministry of Communication and Innovation, and the other issues of security when it comes to patrolling the territory of the nation lies also with so BDF and Botswana Police are actually helping in patrolling the national territories there.
For this issue of human trafficking, nara ke ntsana ke le monageng ga ke tsutla ke ipotsa gore a gone mme a go a diragala gore batho ba utsiwang mo Botswana be ba rekisiwa. What does human trafficking mean really? And seemo sa teng sentse ya mo Botswana.
Thank you, sir. Human trafficking is where you take people and you use them to exploit them on labor issues mainly. It can be national, it can be across the nation. I also talked about human trafficking being a transnational crime, where you see that your territory can actually be used to transport. You are aware, say, that there are some instances where there were people who were being trafficked through our territory to other neighboring states. And the Botswana Police, with all the other security enforcement officers, were able to stop that, so that our country is not used as a transit. But even the act that we are using nationally, there have been some instances that the committee or the department that is responsible have actually identified that internally there were some people who were using, when you use the other side of the definition of human trafficking being extorting labor from from minors working in farms. We did have some instances in some places of our country where minors were not allowed to go to school but to work in some other farms, being not paid enough for their labor. So that is actually there, sir. And we use this act, we use this molao to actually bring those that are flouting this to order. So it is there, sir. And we also see some of our young people in Botswana finding jobs in the international market, very lucrative jobs. They try to apply only to realize that all these are fake. So our law enforcement officer in our country will be working with the ones in those territories to ensure that we don't see young people looking for jobs and hoping they're going to be air hostesses, they're going to work in so many things, that only to realize when they get there, they are not necessarily, they are going to be used for sex slave or so many other issues that they have not applied for. So it is real, sir, and our law is helping to combat this, sir.
Thank you for making me understand the issue of human trafficking. The last one, I am a lawyer, that'll be fine. Kana Botswana mongwe le mongwe eletsa go nna satisfied ya gore tota re sireletsegile mo lehatsheng. Re itse gore sesole sa rona se pudimatseba, sesole sa rona se ipapanne ka se se tshwanetseng ya ka re itse gore malatsing a go na le modern issues tsa sesole tsa ipabalelo re meangela re lehatshe a re siame ampo re tlhaela kgakala.
Thank you, sir. Like you rightly say, I might not be having adequate answers to that, and the commander for the Botswana Defence Force, who was here, might have been the right person to answer that. But being in the ministry that deals with that and having taken part in some of the decisions in there, I am aware, sir, that there are some challenges that we are facing, especially when it comes to procuring the budgets to procure what we need to have. But I believe Botswana Defence Force would have answered that adequately, sir.
Always a bit unfair on her Oh my God. Oh, thank you very much. Nekere, bane baleha a BDF, renarabu alebon. So kita karabu e dule mo go bone. Me se bane mbasi bua, se go ngwe re ka share an wena go gore. Bane ba supa gore kokwano go tsa putego ya go bua ka national security strategy. O ka re go ne go simolotse go le bonyanyana. Me ba dumela gore e ka re thusa thata gore bona gore batswana ba sireletsega. So we are not being the accounting officer, a state president, really, I think you have a role in terms of pushing the national security strategy in the panel. So I think that is very, very important.
Thank you.
Honorable Mabeo,
oh, okay, thank you, sir. Ka o dumedisa PS le lekoko la gago.
Thank you, sir.
Emma. A re bue ka ke utlo transcribe ka PDF ne ke batla go bua ka welfare ya masole le mapodisi. I hope you are the right person. PS, this weekend I received very many calls, messages, jalo jalo. Masole, mapodisi, prisons, but what about listened? Solo jang the low ranking. Welfare ya bone batho ba e tlhokomelo ke mang?
Thank you, sir. Kana Commander Defence Force, Commissioner Botswana Police, and Commissioner Botswana Prisons are accounting officers on their own right who got all the budgets to take care of their territory, their mandate. Expectation is that everything to do with their welfare, and welfare here, say, I want to believe you are referring to their progression, you are referring to their housing issues, you are referring to all the other conditions of service. That is the accounting officer's mandate. So I want to assume, honorable member, that all of them, the three that I've mentioned, have already passed through the PAC to answer for that. And as the ministry, we support them, especially when it comes to even their budgeting. Say, I think it's worth mentioning, even their budgeting, where they do their budget, it does not go through the normal budgeting process like we do, where we appear before the estimates committee, and they do have a specialized board that looks into their budgets. I'm aware, say, that especially when it comes to Botswana Police housing, that one we did get involved, and we've been working with Commissioner Botswana Police to really try to improve the housing section of Botswana Police.
I think you have answered. I can confirm that, yes, indeed, we hosted Botswana Defence Force, Botswana Prison Service, and Botswana Police Service. But with the BDF, there was an issue. It's one of the areas where members of parliament will be willing to engage. But as for the others, we engaged. At the top. Yes.
One of the driving force that pushed for rationalization of the ministry to have Botswana Police and Botswana Defence Force report to Office of the President was to try to address these issues directly to Office of the President to the President so that all the issues that are affecting the personnel, the security of the nation are really taken and responded to timelessly. And I think it's one of those that this movement is trying to very quickly address, because really for a country to be safe, like Honorable Mnacheng was saying, for it to be safe, it needs to also ensure that the people who are making it safe are also taken care of. And those are decisions that were taken
Honorable
to ensure
Mabel,
this.
I think you have answered the question.
Yeah. I thank you, PS. Me, Hakia, Kutsfala Husonini, Kagore. Welfare, Amasolitota, somebody must look at it. I'm happy, Yamapodisi, you did something like that. Yesterday, I had a call from a police officer who was in tears. Allah. Le polisi la re, le sole la re, le la dikeliti. It's unacceptable. You say that you are working on a national security strategy. It won't work if the welfare of the soldiers and the police is a tsebitsiya. Ke tsa gore ha le Ministry of Defense. So lo tsentse go tsena go lo gongwe ha ke ka nna gore ha ka kra ra tsena mo go tsona. O tsentse go tsena go, especially on welfare kana masole by their nature ke batho ba discipline ba force. But you as the PS, you should focus more on welfare. You should focus more on welfare. For instance, when I listen to tona sa masole baba chaisitseng, baba retiring, ba ile gore baba ngwa duetswe baba ngwa ba duelwa. Go tsamayang go lefo, go duelwa jang baba duetswe mo ditso ka criteria efeng baba sa duelwang bone ke ba sa duelwa.
Thank you, sir. I do agree with you, sir, that we need to, as a ministry, need to take care of the welfare. And I think that's what I was trying to say, that the reason why all this rationalization was done was to really look very closely in the welfare issues. But there's also some grievances. And I think when somebody cries and comes to you, it's because they have got some grievances. There is also a protocol of how to follow grievances. And I must really state, say, that since the Botswana Defence Force and Botswana Police, or the Ministry of Defense, moved to the Ministry of State President, to the Office of the President, they have been allowed a platform. Those that have got grievances have been allowed a platform to really take their grievances through the minister. And the minister is working with the team that deals with there's the council. There's the Defense Council that actually addresses this. My minister, I know he does have meetings, constant meetings to really address some of their grievances. The retired soldiers say, yes, they had an issue about their pensions. It's a very complicated thing because some moved to contributory pension, some were using the old. So in order to unravel this, there is a committee that has been set to really try to address them. They meet with them. They also have put together a negotiating team from their organization.
County officer. Namulele, Honorable Mabel, Are Masole, Baba Chaisiti, Baba Ngoba Duetri, Baduerelo, Sebato Banibasi Duerelo, Kakore, who was in the summer on the pension. Mirona Babasa Duelwa, Putsoko, Babasa Duelwa, Kimbasa Duelwa, me their counterparts Baduetri, Milo on a Likella over Duella Lay, Hello Hansri to over Duel. I think that's what I'm getting from Ramabel. Baba duetsweng ba ke ba go gokolo ta batho ba le kae go duetso ba le kae go setse ba le kae. Yes, can you address that one, because the commander of the BNF of the BDF I was a member for a long time, the commander of the BDF ona supa gona gore e o ha ka ya raba e metse ministry headquarters So ke sone se ke bonang potso e thamaletse tota ka gore ke tsa gone ko go commander. So please just give us a brief overview ya gore masole a duetswe a le kae a sa duelwa a kae ke eng ba sa duelwa ba tla duelwa le. I think that one is very, very clear.
Thank you, sir. As I was saying, sir, there are retired officers that have been paid. Some have not been paid.
Yes.
And the issue of calculating or paying, can I say, is not a very simple mathematics that says, because their issue under their name that they have named themselves Aritseke, their issues are not straightforward. They need negotiations. And what I was trying to explain to you is that they have put together their team, the Aritseke team.
Are you sure, Madam Accounting Officer, that you understand and appreciate issues around Masole Adwetri Lasa Duela? Maybe this is the time for a short conference. Because this is a...
I do have figures, sir, and I would request, because it's a very specialized, in-depth issue. It's on a layer security.
Yes.
Who is really at the head of it.
Please,
I would request that through you, Chair, you allow him to come and address it.
I'm surprised that you are not running ahead of us on this one. Because I thought this was an issue that you should be running ahead of us. The special constable, I thought that should be an issue.
The officer responsible for spearhead and Kanyari taking
we also want to appreciate that when I look court, but when I look bad duel, bad duel, when I lead you with the superior, yeah, right. This is a very important one. Ramukat, we're now on the just a second, sir, please. Are you comfortable? Contact openly or no contact. Yeah, but I have since established that I've sent an emissary to you, and you have said that you are comfortable. So I'm comfortable. You can give us the numbers.
Thank you. Number sa officing yone private security licensing by dilang le di tsone di khantse on a daily basis 369 8318 369 8318.
Thank you very much.
Le 369 3698 318.
Thank you, sir.
And then there's a second one, 3698 223. Ke ko officing e dilang le di khantse.
How tshwara officer o ta bo kopa go bua le mang?
The help desk officer
I hope they are very informed on these issues, because I get on my phone now tell them not khantse wa ditalo go tsa batla go khatsa gone ho
me ke wone ba nga khanto
ke wone beng ba kha ke a le go re bitseng
kana you are dealing with batho the lowly paid ba ile re hantsinyana ha ro le ka go letsa wa phasana le one madi ka ga mogera ha le ke go introduce the cell phone module office so that you can be easily accessible. This one definitely is going to be very expensive for them.
In fact, Chairman, they should go a step further. They should introduce a toll-free number. Yes. You need a toll-free number because re bua ka batho ba ile gore ga ba amogela bo ma 800 bo ma 1.2 ga ba amogele sepe tota
a ke re o utile mogopolo raiso kana ebile tswa di-number tsone tse sa pushotse tsa landline hela ke thandara go di araba tsone a di arabe motho tsone so ke tsa gore o utile mogopolo ke suggestion if you found it worthwhile please introduce that one.
Through you, Mr. Chair.
Oh, okay.
Whilst the accounting officer is still in his seat, these numbers that he gave us, the question that I want to resolve issues. These are people specifically to do with a different matter altogether, and now you are adding to do to receive calls that will be speaking to the issues
These are officers who on a daily basis deal with private security licensing issues, from complaints from the public, complaints from employees, and issues that companies themselves may have with government or with the ministry.
In average, now that there is a unit that is handling grievances, a picture of the grievances directly, because many pass through our offices.
No,
make it hard. Honore, but whenever our handy number at Sabone, Kitty Ravens and by Dira Halele, yet the issues that raise with private security companies. So my question is, Ronako Corona, di Lodina Ditla Elizabeth Haba Duelwe, or a meba to Honzonala directly to these people. That's only the issue. If the answer is yes, you can to give us an idea, because Ronara almost on a daily. Thank
you, Chair. This queries data almost on a daily basis also to us. But Kari Paulo, currently, just last week, we also received a list that has over 40 names, which that office is also dealing with currently. And the companies that we have cancelled in the license last year, the majority of them, the issue that they had was non-payment. So it was it's the same issue that we are talking about. On a daily basis we receive so much, or in the last month we received so much, but it's the main complaint coming out of security personnel.
Thank you very much, sir. Ketsaore ra itsanyano le mogala ro tshotse. Ra yo ka re thusang ka kganya masole a sa dueleng. A ke ro ka tumela ha ra go golola Mr. Ramokati. O kana wa bua o kana wa bua di khantse kana wena hetse we can ne gale akere o no rela re go busetse raiso ka itopela o ikana ka baebele erra akere wa wena mo di khanyeng tsa masole
ke mo tsa masole
a duetswe la sa duelwa le mabaka a one a re simolole jaana o ntsha le morago o ikane ka baebela tsholetsa le bogola go la moja o bela molema mo baebeleng ai
mokwedisiana
swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give before this committee of Parliament shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. So help me God. Can I hearts right so raleoga ke ne ke batla gore gongwe ka ha o ka etsang ka teng o utule dipotso go straight into it.
Mutula stile go utule dipotso tota potso e ke ga kologoleng ke ya ga honorable Mabeo ya bohelwa gore masola mo ga duetswa mo ga duela.
Yes.
Ke ba maruri masola mo ga duetswa mo ga duela
thata ke dumela gore rona re mo o bua ka kgang ya di-pension ba bangwe ba duetswe di-pension ba bangwe ga ba di duela maybe go thusa go understanda kgang ya teng la gone ke tata mo goreng ke bangwe ba duetswe bangwe ba sa ba duela ke go understanda gore tota gone ga mme ba duelwa eng
yes sir I will allow that
ka go ntse ka teng irile ka 2001 Masole le the rest of the public service ba neelwa di-option tsa go movela mo pensioneng e mšha ye PSana e tlhalosa re contributory ba tswa mo go e kgologolo e ne e le gore was guaranteed by the respective pieces of legislation ya masole e ne e guaranteewa ke BDF Act le di-regulations tsa BDF Act yaanong mo go buiweng ga bone go na le go mo go teng denominator a go calculate di-pension kore go dirwa service ya gago lebaka le o le tsereng o ntse o bereka go multiply wa salary ya go ka dikgwedi tse o di tsereng go tswa bo go nna le a device denominator yaanong denominator ya masole go tswa go go lowe e ne ntse le ko tlase ga ya public service if you divide by a smaller number you get more e le gore e direletse gore masole ba na ba retire earlier than 60 whereas the rest of the public service they retire at 60 yaanong ga go dira di-transfer value into the new pension go bo go raya gore go irisiwa denominatora e lekanang ya 450 it was discovered later gore masole tota gone nka ba dividetswe ka 375 yaanong pharologanyo e ke yone e duelwang gompieno gore ga ne e rile nako e ne ba tswa ba dividelwa ka 375 o ka bane ba bone transfer value ya bokae so the transfer difference ke yone e duelwang yaanong e rile go tshimologong ga go calculate gore tota mme gone gormente wa go tlhoka bokae go duela madia go bo go calculate-wa ke ka re go irisiwa the principal amount e gormente o ka bana e thokile go duela madi but then ga go se go ta mo go dueleng go bo go lema gore kana mme madi ya batho ga ne ba tsenyeditswe mo funding nako e ne ba tshwanetse gore ka ba tsenyeditswe ka one o ka bana tsa go dile a funding tse ta e gola dingwaga di tshweletseng so yaanong madi a teng a godile lanta gormente na akanyeditse gore gongwe ba go tlhoka around 1.5 billion go ke le tentse go bua ke 1.5 billion go duela but gompieno estimate e re neelwang ke di-actuaries le bo BPOPF gore go thokiwa around 4 billion so di-payments di simologile last year lesole di simologile last year around July yaanong unfortunately this thing is tied to gape kganya ya Veterans Affairs masole kana e ntse e le gore tota ga ba chase ko BDF di-file tsa bone di a tsewa hela di isiwa ko archives so di-payments ga di simolola go simolola go duelwa go ne go batla gore file ya mongwe le mongwe e move from archives a eta calculate le gore o retire le transfer value ya gone e le bokae e godile go le kae yaanong so di-file tsa ka di tswa ko di-archives nyana unfortunately ne di storiwa ke ka re haphazardly gore ne di a hela motho ntse a retire di a tsamaisetsa so ga di-payments di ya ka go duelwana ke tamo gore go duetse ba ba rileng go setse ba ba rileng di-file ke ka re hela ka lesego la gago tse ne di ta ko pele di be di duelwa so bo go tswelela go duelwa up to December somewhere second week of December madi a ne government a hile
e le bokae
madi a ne government na hile 1.5 billion a ka ke bua
okay
but o ka ra ana neetswe NMG was around 1 billion that 1 billion
o ka re
this communication is between Ministry of Finance and NMG mme gone ke ka kutang ka teng ke 1 billion go Ministry of Defense ga ra kwa lo gore nya out of that 1.5 reached 1 billion but I understand now as we discussing how madi a hela gore nya madi a hela tsenga diriswe ke 1 billion ke a ro ka re because gora re ile a le go ene
o wana right o thusa accounting officer o mo oathing me di khantsa o ka re di ganela go o kare a ke senke language e ka reng ka moso motho a ba re na ka rialo ke rile a ke re a re senke language e ntsinya
yes
and ke kopa ro papa malesente ha ile re madi go diritse 1 billion re bolelele ha ile ra thaetse ya ka o supa 1.5 billion against 4 billion re bolelela hela o papa
go dirisitswe 1 billion.
Thank you, sir.
1 billion e kore mir la ko NMG ga tsena go gora gore na ba mo tshwara ka tsela e leng gore o ena interest ga ena interest na ba e dirisa go tsweledisa dituelo. So madi a ba heletseng ba a duela ke 1.246 913 a ba heletseng ba a duela a mangwe ile gore ke interest that was earned over the billion that was given to them. Madi a ya no ga duetse batho ba ka nna 2,968. Batho ba ne ba transferile initially go tswa ko the old pension ya BDF go go yone ya fund ya BPOPF. We're just under 10,000, nearly 9,330. So yan go ra ga go duetswe 2.9 yana, which is close to 3,000. Re ka re go duetswe around 30% ya batho ba sontse go duelwa. Yaanong batho ba botlhe ga se ba ba separately, ba bangwe ba ne ba transferile are still active members of the BDF. But the numbers keep on changing. Kore ba separately ya go itse ba tsweletse ba retire. Gora gore ba le ba separately go was close to 6,000. Gora re ka re bo go ba separately go go duetswe only 50%. But out of the total number gora go go duetswe 30 something percent. Ke ra gore ntse ya lo ya dituelo.
So gora go ka tsogona le ba 50% e senyi duelwe me e sa duelwa ka gore madi a thaetse.
Ka gore madi a hedile.
Madi a hedile. A gona le indication ya gore madi a ta bonala. Mo le gona ga bonala mo nako e ka gere financial year e ntse le gona e simolola ka April le one.
Ya gore a tla bonala tota e nka e togela Ministry of Finance because we are consulting with them but ba re bolela le gore dispatcher gona se dispatcher.
No re ba reng
ba re gona se pe mo dispatcher. Yes.
Okay. Honorable Mateo, you're on the floor.
Oh, thank you. Hey, it's a little bit okay.
Mr. Chairman, the officer na bua ka dipalo taba e leng gore gompieno ba setse ba kgonne go duelwa gongwe gana ka ba o etse gore mme dola gana a bua ka di-percentage a supe gore in the actual number e ka bong e saletse yone e ka nna bokae
e gore 50% yo mmua eo gore e ka nna bokae just
e ka nna bo 3,000 ke ba ba separately ke bua ka ba ba setseng ba dile mo BDF mme gona le ba bangwe ba sentse ba le mo BDF.
Okay. No, I think
Chairman,
just one. Just
gongwe gone ha o tla gona le bothata jwa gore gantsinyana ha go duelwa tsone di-file tsonetse ha gongwe go ganelwa thata mo ba ba tshelang but go na le ba ba thokagetseng ba e leng gore ba amega bone le dira jang ka bone a le bone di-file tsa bone ka lesego di a goroga gantse go gogiwa hela yana mo di-fileng ka go harologana.
Ke motlaleletsa Mr. Chairman ka ebile ke nna on the floor. 2.968 e wisdom le netse di ranke tsa bone ke masola a feng a ke commissioned officers more or non-commissioned more
ba kopanyise ba ne ba setse ka ranke o e ka ke bua gore di-file kana ko ne di-story le teng tota ne di taela di sa reng la di story ha di story go tsetsa ba rana di nagale tsa di junior di nagale di kopana
e re tsene mo go ya gore kana gona le ba thokagetseng ba o bone dispensation ke a file tsa bone ne di goroga go di sutiswa go kana yo o hetsa sa thola le mo botshelo re tammona morago
ba thokagetseng le bone process tsa bone gore maybe I qualify gore ha go duelwa hela ba ba movetseng go BPOPF le ba bana ba setse kwa le bana di-pension tsa bone ka ne di calculatiwa go dirisiwa denominator e ntšha so BPOPF ba e leng gore ba thokagetse mme ba ne ba thokagetse ba joine BPOPF ba na le thulaganyo ya bone ba tsweletse ba duela gore ga go atonya ba thokagetseng ba salela ko morago ba bangwe ba le bone ba we engage the master of the high court ka December o na sa tswetse ko bombaung kwa go na le ba duelang it's only that dituelo tsa teng ha ngwe itela ile gore di kota se mo batho ba tsang gore particularly ba ne ba sa movela mo pension ye kgologolo gore sa ba One of us move from the old pension. But the master of the High Court also kila dispenser the first. Le gompieno ana o tshwantse gore a tsamaya gape go dispenser for the second batch.
Ne ke re sengwe yana go ne me gore madi a ye go hela a kokotesegela accumulated to figures about 2 billion, about 3 billion, about 4 billion, about baakanyetsang. What really happened? Ke nga a lisitswe a go nna kalokalo mo gompie kwanang e nnang a palegang gore a duelwe.
Ya ka ne ke bua kore go mo ke ha ke tsora ke ka discovery kana admission by government last year that indeed the denominator in Kabio in adjustiwa ka 1998 actually le gore e ka be rile ha go transferwa ka 2001 bo go dirisiwa that better denominator go kokotela ga madi go direlwe ke hela ke go performance ya fund over the years gore hela go tile ga government accepta ba dumelana gore nya we have to compensate for that denominator shortfall last year.
Would it mean gore someone slept on his or her job? Kore if re go ka be go diregile jana me ga go a diragala gore someone responsible should have made gore that action itself ya gore go duela batho.
In 1998 we can use that language for 1998 when the denominator for the public service was adjusted. Lama solo ka bena adjusted accordingly. Ka 1998.
Nyame ke a utlwa tota ke re ka ha o ibuang ka teng. Go lebe ga ke to ka re ko morago kwa go ne ga nna le oversight. Done sa le jwa sent. E be re morago go di bona la gore a di otse ga di a tsamasa. That is what cost sekoloto sa 4 billion. Ya re na re hela re a gore mo o na itholala mo tirong. E tsa re utule eo. Me a re tswelle pele le kganye. So se buang gore 50% ya masole ga a duelwa. Me ha a duelwa bothata jo botona jo le butwa yana gore ha gona madi wa rialo.
Yes sir.
Are you saying that?
I'm saying that.
Okay. Me bona ba kolota me ha gona madi.
Ga gona madi ga ra imise ka lebaka le pela konta gore madi a idi.
Ramabeo?
Yeah, ke batla clarification go mo ga yone. Kore I don't understand the negotiation part. Gore a go to go negotiate wa ibile go supa gore go na le committee nngwe that has been set. Go negotiate wa a go itse what is due to them. Maybe we need clarity on this one. Ke a ke tsanta go twa go te pension ya negotiate.
E re ntse re bua ka yone ya negotiation ke ano ga ra go case nye go court gona le case go court e masole ba bangwe ba ikopantse ba tsa case ba isa go court gore bana ba ngoragala dilo tse pedi ya ntha bana ba ngoragala ne denominator gore case ile go court before government took a decision ya go denominator why adjust bana ba ngoragala denominator engwe bare we shouldn't have been moved to the BPOPF whether given a choice to choose or not, because pensioner is prescribed by the BDF Act. So, the government recently said we need to engage with these people. To be moved back to the BDF pensioners prescribed by the BDF Act. Let's sit down and talk about this thing.
Honorary government has provided 1.5.
Honorable Monare, you have been on the floor for some time. Can you please Arnelo Bangosabak?
Okay.
I make it like you did na like kibue.
No, Uska Changer. How can you have say in a le Casalo Morao? I just want to get honorable members to know that we are in for a long, long Monday because we have a huge ministry coming. So, Nehala, Kalahanzel Nalakateo Moe, Erkachella Pili, Honorable Diwana Bata Hitagasim, Ebuganella in Romaville.
Egilmo party or negotiation or the explanation is that they want to go back, or they were actually compelled to move from there to something else.
Hey.
But now, whose decision was it to buy Kubalim Tengu? Akia lona kana kia bone.
Kana ha to bona ka batho ba iphita ka digambare santse le go khoteana ke toga ke bua position ya government gore king are ena ga dumele gore they were compelled ya no ke ne e debate yang go khote khanyateng.
Okay, ha ile re hantsi debate ya go court gongwe le wena o ka iphithela ka ba bangwe sala ba iphita ka rone ra ba utwa masola a chaisitseng bare bane ba bata to bare ba hiwa sebete ba kra ba hetseng ba duetswe bare ba hilo sebete ya la khanya bone hantsi ile go court ba bua khanyo ne me ya go mpieno ke ya 50% AC ne le la ile sepe e le gore yone tota gona manganga ke ba kolotiwa ke batla o bua gore ba kolotiwa mme go mpieno kgang ke goreng
madi a
khadile a re tswelle ona re mabeo.
Okay, madi a khadile plan ya rona ke ra la gore this year o budgetile bokae mme gone a kire di budget ne di submitwa maloba jalo le jalo o solfetse bokae and o tlo go ba le kae and then ya di records o supamanga monwana. Are you saying the BDF ga ya tsora di records sentle or ware Department of Archives, because former director wa archives ke ofa aware archives ke izele very good ka records keeping, so ware ke mang o sa bereka ka gore gore la archives ga itla fetso ntore ba arabe gore ware ga ba tshware dilo sentle ebile dilo tsa ba sole ga di nna sentle kana who are you pointing a finger at?
Ke ga ke tsora ke ga pateletsa PDF kore yala gongwe BDF e disitse kwa esa director ya cash gore tsarona re bata di tshwarwa ka tselentsenya gongwe ne re batho ba nna ba re tshara yala be di isiwa yala because di tsentswa yala mo di-boxing mme gape re discover le gore tota mme le tshwana ga di a tsenngwa in chronological order ya gore ba ba retirileng ke ra gore go ntse yala yalo. So but unfortunately I kitse gore yang ka blame BDF kana archives.
How much have you budgeted for this year?
Madi a di-pension kana a budgetiwa under Ministry of Finance, so ga ke sure gore na ba budgetile mme go lebega yala ka maphata a mangwe na ba budgetile batho ba tetse go tonyame madi gae.
So e o ikharamela go finance a kere ba eta
ke ikharamela go finance
ba eta bone re mabeo re sa morago ya bohelo re tere one ba bangwe
ke botsa ya bobedi chairman kana e dirile ya kwa le kwa
experience ya mi supa gore ke khaena le moko itumelela gore kaya go ina le moko ya kwa le kwa mme ya rotswela ka ya bora.
Okay,
o totse se ka isa honorable Lesedi
PS gona le ma sole baba neng ba itsheka issue ya di linking le ya bontlole gona le ba bang ba ba saletseng ko morago. Are you aware of that?
I'm not aware, sir.
You're not aware?
Yeah.
Okay, let me make you aware. Ki buile ka rena ki tlo focus mo di issues tsa welfare tse ke akanyang gore
just hold Ramabel. PS ga aware kana ona le rights ha o kai mo di khantse tsa madi a masole o ka o mothalihit. Wena are you aware sir? Ka khaye
ke aware la ka gore nkile be ke le sole but ye ke le gore it's inside the BDF ke e handlwang ke commander to ke ra gore ga ke na di details tsa yone ka toga ka le misleader
ke gongwe ka bone re ibuditse commander. Okay,
nyame kana gore la gore tseno tsa metse ke di sutseng di ga di a bereka ka gore ga go to commander but like I said issue ya welfare tota ke akanya gore rona ka re ma civilian so ntse re lebelle pharologanyo kana ba le ba sesole bone o ka re ba nna ga dinyana mo go ba bangwe ga ke tsora ke yone discipline ke style sa bone ke tsa gore PS jaaka le PS wa ile gore o PS wa Ministry wa Defense di shuta welfare tshwanetse gore di sokamele thata ko wena ba masole bao ba sekile ba bo ba wina high court ya be ya o dara commander BDF gore duela bana o ntse ga dira jalo ke kopa gore o e sala morago PS ke kopa gore o e sala morago on welfare. We will not be able to achieve the national security strategy ha welfare ya masole a rona e sa nna sentle, ha masole a rona ba se cheerful, ba sa itumela, ba sa bereke sentle, ha ba ka ke ba re sireletsa gotlhelele. Issues of welfare o tsamaye gape PS o e go tlhola dikampa tse gore ba nna jang ga ba nne sentle gotlhelele PS ga ba nne sentle. Also a gona le molao mongwe o le rao ba kanya rao change because molao o ga wa nna sentle le ga le reta buisana gongwe go na le sengwe se le se dirang. For instance, the private di retire at 45, mme general tsone di kgona go retire at bo 65. Kana go rala di private di iphutlhereela. That's why ke ntse ke ipotsa gore kante why former soldiers, why do they look like ke batho ba kare ba ko tlase thata? They look like paupers literally, ba sotlega because le pension ya bona ba kgone go raise a sepe. Even in the region, because South Africa they retired 60, 65 in the region ke rona la ba re ko tlase. Issues of welfare that we need to really look into them. Ke a kopa ke bua jana gore next time ha retla maybe in your office I'm going to come to you because these issues didn't.
Yes, Honorable Mabeo is very strong on issues of welfare. The committee is very strong on issues of welfare. Can I will make follow-ups on this matters? I know nearly progress on it. I
think maybe she needs to address the issue of 45 different retirement ages or any direction or e ka hetoga mo bogauhi gore le ba ba seng di officer le bona ba ka retire at 60 like officers.
Gongwe ebile yone gore ne ra etola nako ene Ramasole a leha o ka bana re arabile gongwe ka pharologane. Accounting officer. Accounting officer, are you able to relate to this question?
No, sir. I think, like I was trying to address, Ghana, like we've said from the beginning, sir, Ghana Commander Defense Forces accounting officer, and issues in the welfare lies within him. And I think he would have been in a better position to address because Kidi Act, they are under him. So we will take it, to discuss it within the ministry. I don't think at this moment I'll be in a position to answer, sir.
Honorable members, so when he comes around, because our tenure is 5 years, I Lord do Ditsama, Kauchan Zengati, Ratana Lisabaka Sabu Alene, Kayu Neo Happy, Carlona, Janu Letana refer la Kuene, refer Habibi Ali Zuru Hitili, Orariano.
Chairman, Chairman.
I will do that.
Chairman. That's why I think this
I have a duty. Right, so I have a duty to make sure that meteors are mustn't. Ready what? Ready what?
Yale Mudula still. Only concern Tata abuse of illicit drugs by the youth. And Kiaiputa Nagili no Sierra or Haunse Anaria Kai Lily Heart. Rahuela Kai have an Avarunava Sevalimo Semo Sonese. The Hatsile La Hosala Libuma. So, what are you doing in that same emotion? Can I say, I'm a little bit school, by the order of school, Resuluhetsi, future, Mokuboni. So, Negero Hungwelu Talu Sevore, Ludiran to address this situation.
Thank you, Honorable. In realization of that problem AIB still has. That is why government came up with the directorate, the drug enforcement. The Director General of Drug Enforcement this year, who after the then Ministry of Defense and Security, but now realized this problem, they came up with this directorate to address this issue of illicit drugs. You will realize in our executive summary, we did talk about it. Drugs, but they have put together some programs and working with even the civil society to address this. But through you, Mr. Chairman, if you will allow me for in-depth analysis and briefing, if you allow it, say.
Yeah, make it our ulikile yaraba. Maraskara ragodira solo modiro jan or mota la tilo ikana. O yarabile radiwa o ka sala morago ha iloro akona.
Ki dumela hore we yarabile me o supa le phata hela le sa tshwaranse. This directorate, yeah, there is a concern that has been registered in your executive report of shortage of staff. So how do you expect this organization to run without staff?
Yeah.
Because for implementation purposes, you can't do anything without staff.
Yeah. I think it's worth noting, the issue of staff, I've noted it, we have concern, we have even highlighted it, but we have started actually capacitating it heavily. We have, I think for now, we from senior management to middle management, we have actually given them people now. But the other issue is that's worth noting, it's a collaboration job. We work with Ministry of Health, we work with Botswana Police, we work with BRS to really combat this problem. Because BRS, because of the border posts, all these drugs, or lady immigration departments, all these drugs come through the border post. Botswana Police helps with even the rehabilitation, and a lot of rehabilitation work we do it with the civil society. So yes, the DEA itself didn't have a lot of staff in the past. We have capacitated it very strongly, given the rising incidences of drug. But please bear in mind that even in the past, a lot of work was still done because of the collaboration with other departments.
Le shotelo ke badiri a rialo honorable Dikwa. Le shotelo ke badiri me ano tsholohelo ya rona ke gore ya ka o re solohetsa jalo gore le tale neela badiri mo nako e khutshwane ha re hetse re bua next time e ka se ka nna a recurring challenge.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Badiri hela ja.
We have actually
has put a cap. Ya no a go tolo go hirwa.
Yeah.
Ba bangwe ba ite ba re ba ta ba rialo ba re gona le zero recruitment policy. A ke tsora lona la me ga gone go.
But because a lot of people who were working with Rera Makurwana say on this, some of them were police members, some of them were Botswana Defence Force members. We have worked with this relevant department for transfer of this personnel to be directly now under the Directorate of Drug Enforcement, even though the collaboration with this department will still be ongoing. We've also considered, Horgana is a completely new, so we are rationalizing internally to try to rationalize some of the posts that we have to capacitate his directorate, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Maybe we will need to appreciate. Just can you update us, staff, Sahaho Horisekai, Sese Menandis, and the training component? How much has been done to make sure that they are capacitated to handle this mammoth task?
Rera Makurwana, ute gone.
Rera Makurwana, ute sir. Any Director General wa.
Ko dira conference e khutshwane ho. Re wetse di kgang. Staff sa go se kae, se trainwe, go le kae.
Okay.
Mona go etang PS. Go batla o e re pele ha o ta kwano. O bo tshwere conference ya gago le bone pele. gantse di-basic thata hela tsone tsa bo gore babereki ba kae a ba trainwe hela jalo
Thank you, sir. We will do that, sir. The current staff for its present that has been working 12, but 61 we are capacitating them. 61. We've been busy writing letters to join the 12 that has been there, sir.
So only 12 hela go shota 61.
Only 12 we are recruiting 61.
Staffing. Yeah, if you go to Muchudi, you go to even in some of these institutions, or this number is quite low.
Yeah.
High capacity to address this issue. So,
please expedite the recruitment process.
Yeah, ibile go na le a lot of intents ko mapating a kwana ba ileng gore ga ke tsora can they be absorbed or le bone ba go tlhoka some formal training e leng gore tla be le ba ganye le phata like dia le yone ga go lebege na le bodiredi ya la bo busiameng ko ntle ga o kela gore bontsi ba batho ba ba leng kwana ke BDF officers seconded to the ministry. So, go botlhokwa gore kganye e bankang.
Ra ke tsa re la utwa e kore e ga se tlhokang defense ke ya hela gore tsamolo hira batho re thuse bana ba rona ba nyelela e ka ditagi. Ra budiwa ke le bogetse gore o bo sa tsana go entsi o re thusitse nako ya nyelela ka kwano le yone. Honorable
Thank you. Me re dumedise PS le koko la gago. Mo state president le na le di officera ba bereki ba le kae ka palo ba ba mo leveleng ya PS le deputy PS.
County officer.
Thank you, sir.
Surely this one you don't need a conference, so it's quite yours. Yes.
More office of the president is only presidential advisors. They are at the level of F0, and there are 6 presidential advisors. Presidential advisors.
What about the chief of staff?
What's
about Kibasi?
O ka ba re nang go lela ba ba 6 bao ba ba mo F0 a kere ke di advisor
ona le investment advisor, ona le legal advisor, ona le ICT advisor, ona le ona le political advisor.
Ona le political advisor.
Le di projects. Le di projects se project advisor.
Ona le project advisor.
Ba mo F0.
Ba mo F0.
F0 ke bokae kana ka kgwedi?
$65,000.
The total package would amount to about how much? Re itutile se mo maloba e le gore ha mo itela di allowance mo mabaki a mangwe di hita le one 65.
Kana ke di allowances se they differ from person to person. So what we can know for F0 is the basic. Hiwa mo the white paper.
Thank you. I remove to the PS. I can about the advisor. Yeah, no, I remove to the PS.
PS was state president. PS mo one hello state president. And then abanali the deputy debate. Abanali F1. One of the things that I have to explain, honorable members through you, Chair, ke gore Ministry of Defense moved to Ministry for State President, but the deployment structures are still going through negotiations. So that those structures have not yet been approved by the upper panel. And once they are approved by the upper panel, the infusing of the Fs that are the F1s that are coming from who are temp secretaries, who are coming from the Ministry of Defense as they were coming to us, and the team that I have here. The deployment structures for that has not been yet approved. So we are working with them because they have moved them. We are part of the team that are working with them through their upper panel to be approved, say. So I can count them, but once the deployment structure is not fully approved, because work needs to happen, and that is why even though Chairperson Ara should have done basic things, they are still really working. The process of infusing them, it is still an ongoing process.
So we are likely to have a special advisor, CDL 6 at F0, and then have levels at DPS and deputy PS, 15, which is likely to make it go 21.
Not 21, say, not that high. I mean, if you count the advisors, remember, say, if I may take you back to the time when I was presenting here as Ministry for State President, I did talk about the Office of the President being facilitated by the Ministry for State President. So even though there is not a ministry, it also has got its own structures that needs to facilitate the presidency. So that is where the advisors lie, or Office of the President. Whereas go Ministry for State President, we so far, according to the approved structure, it's only one PS and 3 secretaries at F1 level, and then the deputies. So I don't think it will go up to 21, say, but that's the rationalization that is still taking place.
Yeah, ka gore wena o le gone home mo bekeng ya hitileng o ne o re o accounting officer gape ya Office of the President.
That's true, sir.
No real wa ke
it's true, and
go ra honorable khonegile a botsa gore batho ba ba level yone ya F0 le F1 ba kae, it falls on your table.
It does, sir.
And re bulele number ya teng ka bo amaru jo ka khonang go master today.
And I'm doing that, sir, because what I'm saying, sir, there is the merging of two ministries. There is the Ministry for State President that has been ongoing, and then there is the merging of the ministry with the Ministry for State for Defense and Security. That is coming with, it is not, there was no accounting officer coming, but the F1 levels, where they are coming, and that is still going through the upper panel to finalize the overall structure.
Go remember Mregis, go la sa eta ka upper panel. Bonense ha o kwa ba isa kota sa F1 ke. So they fall there. Ba home. So how ka kwa ba discount on pay. But what I've realized also is that when it comes to these matters, so let's have a permanent secretary ba ka he ba amogala ba ka. O ka you guys are very cagey on these matters. Ha ke tore ka gore kana go ha leaders e leng gore se ka ha molaong se teng se kwadilwe. Me ano ke bona ke toro repeat. Go ha ke dipotso se ma parliament ha ba di boletsela gore ba rata go botsa ba di boletsa go bona gore me a se gore madi a mantsi a dirisiwa mo go dueleng maemo go na le go direla batho ditamela. Kana go se stona gore batho ba sentse ba direla ditamela. I don't think he's just asking because he likes asking.
But be assured, sir, that I'm not being cagey. I'm really answering at the best of my knowledge. And I'm saying the accounting officer or one, PS for State President. And I was telling you the F0s that are within Office of the President and the F1s and the F2s. But for me to conclude with certainty, say, It is when the upper panel has approved the overall structure, something which is still ongoing. It has not been done, sir.
It's likely to be completed when?
The upper panel met, I believe they'll be meeting sometime this month, sir, because we have submitted all the proposals to the upper panel to consider and approve.
We have interest in the matter.
We'll give you the...
Can you please, as and when you are done, pass on the information to our secretary?
We'll do that, sir.
We have great interest in the matter.
We'll
because
do that, sir.
I can't say to you, right seka lona re le hae. Ra leba gore a me gone tota a wa thokala re hire batho ba maemo ba lekalo mme go ntse go ta gona madi me ditamelo gape di batho ba shota ditamelo ko tlase. I think that's where the honorable member is coming from.
We'll submit, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sepodisi se ne se le ka hata sa ha Ministry of Defence and Security o ile gore kone o lo emetseng ha tsatsi jeno. Me since 2019 ba ntse ba sa duelwe sente. I don't think this one would I refer to the commissioner. Ka gore a kere dituelo di ta di tswa di bankangwa from office of the president di ya go go bo commissioner. Di basic pay tsa bone mapodisi wa thehela bana le deficiency between 300 and 500 since 2019. Me ha o bala mapodisa a leng teng e le gore deficiency ga e ka ha molao ka re ha re itse molao ope o reng a mapodisi ba duelwe ko tlase. On average le podisi lengwe le lengwe a ka re bua yana le koletiwa 30,000 including the commissioner. Are you aware of that?
Sir, I'm not aware of that because, like I said, the issues are welfare, my policy details are when I said, in accounting with Sarate. And for any ministry or any department to have their pays revisited, it's a process. And that process has not reached my desk yet, sir. So I will not be in a position to talk about the Tuelo Zabone because the accounting officer, who is the Commissioner of Police, is responsible for bringing this to the leadership.
Thank you. If she brings it to the leadership, what would the process entail? Hore ba kgone go bona di tsabona.
The process entails revisiting of their job description and the rationalization of their jobs that go through the panels, it's the management analysts, to find what the at what level. And that whole reorganization of the ministry goes through the appropriate channels within government that finally approve, and then it approves it is approved through cabinet. And I'm not sure whether after cabinet it goes to parliament, but those are the processes that look into the organizational structure of every department of government and ensure that the jobs are classified accordingly.
Here we are talking about a situation whereby a senior superintendent would do like a D1. And then mongwele ko civilian side would do like a D1. But the one na 500 between this D1 and this D1. It's not an issue of job description. It's just an issue of how a white paper. It's a melango civilian. White paper, it's a melango sepodising with the same scale, same notch. In a parlohanyo ya 500 less. Mapodisi bone, bare, it's because of budget. Is that the case?
I will not be aware, sir, because those are written issues. Those are issues that the white paper carries the figures. And the figures are approved and they go through process. So if the white paper is covering somebody at D1, the expectation is that the D1 that is being paid, same notch, should be the same. If there are differences within Botswana Police, the Botswana Police management will be in a better position to explain where those differences are coming from, sir.
Thank you. Maloba kanta ta na ko haraka raheta ka khanye gona le khanye ya freelancers ko information services le broadcasting services. They are not paid, kana they are not allowed gore ba tsebo di sick leave, ha ba tsa di sick leave ba kgaolelwa madi, bo di leave ba kgaolelwa madi, but some of them the more contracts about 12 months, it's about 2 years, it's di khona go ena di leave. Labor ya re state president ga ya sala molao morago ke eng go diragala jang?
We are aware of those situations, and they should not have happened. And that is why currently, so the freelancers have got their contracts that determine their work. And so some of the grievances have come to the desk of my minister, and he has actually set up a committee to look into these grievances and see even some of the complaints that the freelancers are having, even the renewal of their contracts, it's left to really the last day. They are never sure whether they will, the following day when the contract ends, whether they're continuing or not. So those are some of the grievances they are being looked into, and we are trying to solve them.
You'll have the last one, sir.
The last one. You are overseeing, coordinating on behalf of the Office of the President.
Yeah.
Kona le buka ke e bidiwa Green Book.
Yes, sir.
E tsosa di letseng hale le hale mo setšhabeng ha go ta mo gore setšhaba se itse ka bonya gore e na le bothata jwa buka e gore e ka ntshiwa hela ya nna public ya itsewe ke mongwe le mongwe hela gore di benefits tsa di ministera ke eng hela jaaka di benefits tsa mapalamente di itsewe hela jaaka di benefits tsa modirela puso mongwe le mongwe di itsewe as per white paper e tswa ngwaga le ngwaga. Bothata jwa Green Book gore be le sephiri ke eng?
Green Book ha sephiri, sir. It's a public document. So anybody who wants to know what is contained in the Green Book has got the right to have it.
Mo parliament ha itse re bonwa ka go ke se tshwenya.
It's being taken care of by the Cabinet Office. So if anybody wants a copy of the Green Book, they can get in touch with the Cabinet Office to get a copy.
Ke eng e sa kgone go rekisiwa hela mo government gazette, like ke kgona go tsena mo government gazette be ke bona sengwe le sengwe. Cabinet Office ta be go ra gore go iwe ko Office of the President ha se rongwe re ta e congest.
I'll look into it, sir. Ke tla discuss with PSP.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nyami ke tsa gore ra buile ke ne ke sa dumele gore ga ya rona eta nna telele mme a ke yo ka reng ke bona interest ya ma parliamente ka bo ke le ka go e suppressa mme a re go patir tere we re hetse re go patir tere we re wetsa le lona batho betso go nile go le go heta ka ne ke go potse ke akantse. Thank you very much. You are invited for tea. But 20 minutes, because we need less money. The floor is yours.
Thank you very
Honorable
much.
Pologolo.
Thank you, Mudlastilo, and through you, sir. I'm the accounting officer. Can you shed some light on the district commissioners? There seem to be some issues they raised with your office.
Yeah.
And if indeed that statement is correct, what can you say to it?
Thank you, through you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Pologolo. It is true that there are some grievances that the Office of the District Commissioner as a whole, not just the DC, but the whole, had some issues, and mainly a lot of their grievances were on their progression. So what had happened is that, if you recall last week when I was here, I did talk about the districts being increased from, the District Commissioner's office being increased from 12 to 33. And during that time, as we were implementing the decentralization, there was also a decision that was made by government to elevate the district commissioner to F2, and then the deputy district commissioner to E1. Previously, the district commissioner was at E1, and they were assisted at E2. So this elevation, this assimilation upwards, created a gap in E2. So you realize now that there was not, the whole purpose was not to do an upward pull throughout the cadre. Therefore, it created a gap in the scale post, and some members of the district office felt that they were being put unfairly because they were not able, if they had to compete for deputy commissioner post at E1, the advert demanded that they should have served at E2. So they felt that that was putting them at a disadvantage. We have since realized that they really have a point, and we engaged them. We engaged their lawyers, we engaged, my minister engaged, and we engaged even the DPSM to try to really normalize all the situation. The issue that we see as a grievance from some of them, even to the lower posts, is that because of the newly established districts, a lot of lower cadres were acting on higher posts when we were still looking for posts. And definitely there were some who had legitimate expectation that they should have been promoted into those posts. We are continuously discussing with them. They do have a point. Some of them, we have compensated them for their acting, which is prolonged, but some of them we are also dealing with the issues of filling the posts. That because the point here was there were some where there were no approved posts. So we were in the process of requesting for more posts so that we can actually elevate them. And actually my minister has been very, very particular on the welfare of the district commissioner to ensure saving the nation across all the 31 districts fairly, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope in the next examination we would have a positive feedback on this exercise.
We'll do that, sir.
Because they are very critical people in our districts.
Yeah.
So the last thing we want is to be served by aggrieved district commissioners.
Yes, sir.
On my next topic, or question rather, there's a new government. There's a UDC government which has its own manifesto. And are you aware of the manifesto? Have you gone through it? Do you know what is expected of your ministry? to the nation. Tota hela go sa tlhoke sepe hela se sentse. So with that, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I'm done.
The last one. On
Thank you.
Narrative.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Chair. Nna ke santse ke boela ko putsong ele ya gore go ne go approvilwe 1.5 billion. Me go lebega ba finance ba disibesitse only 1 billion go ya ka hanne ra bua ka teng hale. What's holding the other half a billion?
What is holding the other half a billion?
And why?
Okay, right. So, musutele mutsunyana khaye to natat. Yama matserwa abantu bale bantsi. Le ba malapa bone le ba batsela le bone.
Yes, kana che ona khalemela gore ne kere kana kana.
O ka khaya tira asore ka rata yone ya go ka kana ya no.
Ha ke wela go mara go itela ke ya ke ipotsa gore do I really have the authority to say go dile 1 billion? Ha nka ba twa evidence ke tlo go e provide ya. So ke ne ke tshabaela because ke itse ha re ntse re tsweletse re consultant mo projecting gore go heletse go display 1 billion. Otherwise, I would have said, no, Tota Finance is going to exactly how much was disbursed. But the hell, because I'm in this project, I display 1 billion. Irle reboare 500 million okay botunya kana go mo ne le budget. It didn't mean gona le madi ke ala bilwa le yana gompino ga re retisa 500 million retail space ya government se sena se.
Okay. Ramtausan, thank you. At the 500 million in a budget. And it's a passion highly. See.
Kore ke tatengo khanye ya sepashi. One ana ke dumela gore gona le mananeo a hela mantsi a le gore khanya madi go nka be re sa nne re bua ka yone. Ibile tota na ke le gore ke ne re bua ya ne go nna go te khanya madi ka gore the indicators are not showing gore madi ga. A typical example gona le madi a bo chema. Tell me, king yanong le a isiwa go te ke di grants in a di loan. Where do you expect to get money mo go government? Gore mo go government madi a bono ka go tsenya letseno ka tsela tse di harologaneng. There is a revolving account. Le change le la rianong ke le haba to mahala. Does that show gore me ga gona madi? Kra gore ka ntseng ka te a go supa gore ga gona madi.
Haba sa ke a rutsa go ikgolega. Ne ke re go ngwe leo o ga sore gongwe re skara kana eno ka re lo ama solehela a chaisitseng ya no kire a re go re be mo goreng kana finance e eta kwa asore kana mo re beile pele re ba ela bone ba finance gongwe ra ba ra oketsa le tse dingwe tse re di bonang di diragala mme go ta gona madi mme di tswele di diragala
nyame ke a go utlwa che ba tota hela yone ka hanne ke ba ka teng kana le patali these programs tota ke la yone ke bane ba tlang ka di initiative tsena tsa gore re thusa setšhaba yana. That is why ne ke tsenya moti
gongwe le gale ke mo
ile se ka yela
me Mariana kana gongwe ke mo tsela se ba ka hela gongwe ka ya raba accounting officer thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Kana the initiatives, Honorable, lies with the mandate holders. So Chema doesn't lie with the Ministry for State President. It lies with the Ministry of Trade. They have budgeted for it. They can be the ones who can say why has it changed and what was the initial. It will be very difficult for me to try to answer that one.
I get me an are. I want to go tsenya. Are nya me no office of the president. Kana yone tona. the initiative tse di motivate ke yone gone ko le motona teng ko state president a re yalo kana nna ne ke rile ke batla gore re ise ko finance yaanong mphentsha ha bua gore di tswa gone kwa.
Yeah, me, Honorable Chairperson, I think State President, through the Office of the President, yes, they are coordinating this, but the mandate holders are discussed with the relevant ministries, relevant sectors. So it will, even though it might have come through Office of the President, it will be through the advice of the relevant mandate holders.
If any instructions come from the office of the president, ba trade ke bona ba ka tswa marilinyame re siane sentle re ka phimola dikoloto tse ne re di neetse batho gore ba neke. Ke tsa gore this was a directive from the president and tautona na le dithata, but with the advice of course ya gore a me re ka sela kae go leka go baakanya dilo tse dintseng jana yaanong ke ba skwele mo ministry mo ka gore ya beele taelo tswang go office of the president gore nya jalo madi a ne re batho ra ba adimile jaanong ra phimola ra ba ha se sekoloto mme ka ha ra re ga gona madi a leng gore a ka duela dilo tse dingwe se ka iela ka yona BDF. Imagine batho ba ba modimo ga bolo go kulutiwa le baka le le kae and ga gona madi. Why? Ke ngwana wa na sa tsewe gate lona finance ka ra gona madi a ra tsenyeng ka hare re ne re duele masole ka gore ne re dumalanye gore re le neela 1.5 billion. This is where I'm coming from.
You still stick to your argument about mandate holders?
Yes, sir.
Ma?
It will be very unfair to try to come and speak on behalf of the Ministry of Trade, sir.
Or Ministry of Finance?
Or Ministry of Finance. They had a dialogue with the President or with the Office of the President, like Honorable says, and they agreed and they put that, whether it was an instruction, whether it was, I think they will be in a better position, say, to really talk about this.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yami, begitro mo yone. Kanyana PS. Ya go measure these two ministries. Ya mile go le kana kang office ya gago in terms of go budiredi le go leka tiro go ketsa tiro mo ministry wa gago. Kore ha ke tsore nga ba ya me. Let me put it this way. I've realized a lot of times Ministry wa State President o karo maphata o tlhela le begang ekete a tshwere dilo ko pele ba tsewa ba tsisiwa ko ministry ngona a go moga go imetse tiro se ka ile bone bo molaudi kana bo molaudi used to be ko local government and they were doing a very good job ko local government gompieno ba ile ko OP nna no ke bona gore o ka re balaudi ke di celebrity hela ha ke di protocol officers hela ga ke bone the impact ya balaudi hela ya ka ne ba le ko local government go mpione ke ba di protocol officers kana ke re sa irele Ministry of State President di protocol officers ra tlogela balaudi hela ba go dira tiro e neng ba e dira ne siame bona hala tota ko local government yaanong ba go neetse defense gape. What's your take on this? Ga go imelwe ke tiro kana ke sone se bana go mpio go tshwana go rotele bo PS ba bangwe ke tiro ano gore ba di thrownilwe bo PS go tswa go maphateng ga bone ba bereka ka hata se ga go as the PS ya OP.
Thank you, sir. I think I want to say your first question was how has it affected the load in my office. These transfers, when they happen, a lot of them are coming with the capacity that was there. When you are transferring the mandate and the capacity that was there. So we work together. We believe we are managing yes, it is, the workload has increased, but because it is coming up with the expertise in Neluko, we are managing on it, sir. On the district commissioners, sir, now I want to believe that the district commissioners, when they came to office of the president, first of all, their welfare was improved. And I've got a lot of examples to give you on those ones, sir. And they were also elevated to make sure that they oversee and coordinate the work in the districts. They are not just protocol officers. They are doing a lot of good work in coordinating the work in the districts, sir, which is a little bit additional from what they are doing. They did not leave out what they were doing when they were in the Ministry of Local Government. So, yes, sir, they have been given a lot. Maybe they are prominent now on their role that they are doing as facilitating the leadership when they finish. But there's more to what the district commissioners are doing. And you asked whether today you see a lot of PSs. Let me explain that when the Ministry of Defense was transferred to Office of the President, it was matched through, and the permanent secretary, the accounting officer of that ministry, did not come with the ministry. The mandate was transferred, but the mandate has got experts that they're dealing with. And this is a new transition, sir. When I come before this committee, I know I am supposed to have studied, and I did my best to try to study all the things that were coming with the Ministry of Defense. But there are expert areas that I didn't have expertise on. So that is why even in my executive summary, I did request the chairperson to allow me to say, because this committee needs answers, and some of them I may not be having it because of the new transition that is coming. I think with months or 2-3 months down the line, I will be able to answer a lot of them. But now, to satisfy the questions that are coming from this honorable committee, I needed to bring the experts so that they give you. So these experts are project holders. They are mandate holders of the varied expertise. And this is what I'm talking about, that the bringing in of the ministry came with the expertise thing. So in terms of coordination, yes, it has increased the coordination level in my office, but it has also brought the expertise that are also teaching me how to infuse all the relevant departments that have come through, sir. Thank you.
Nyami one wa bua mikene kere kore hela mutha hore ana hore ditse ka the first installment of your appearance here. Aba go retsa gompieno aba bona ka ha no conference ka teng. I think one would get the impression that your ministry is bloated and maybe unmanageable at times. Kira ha mutho kira kitsamela go khaya ya ga rem 1000 go le ba ga ke to ka go kwa go nna go ntsinyana gantelana o go palwa ke go appreciate one mandate yote e ta re go bisa bona o tela ka bore amakorwane ba thalosa dingwe go ka gore tota go hetso go nna go ntsi mo state president and also the president. But anyway, you go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Maybe the way to this in the corner, Kagiwana Yano, I will push on William Waiter, Kamozo BCP Kabi, Tere, Itabi, Tat, Murape, Muanore, Okaro, Hobatahola Ola. Kitautun, I will have moves in you. I think, don't you think, Mokumpienu, Totahela, Rochanterenelli, Tamaiso? Ya le hatsela rona ile ngore e tsamaisa gore maphata ka hantseng ka teng ka ta bera ile ka teng ha go tlhoko every president o tsena ba change ministry o change o bidua o ka moso change o bidua o ka moso change o bidua e gore tlhama lela re gore ha ile gore na le phata le bidua go te ke defense le ho whether go ta utona o montšha or jang, that ministry will remain Ministry of Defense o ntse hela ka ontse ke la gore we bona ya go tšhentšhile ga kae hela selaka bo president ba batse ke go hase kae bona gore re ke ra tsara change ministry wa education wa ra o kgaoganya ga bedi o lo kopantswe maloba ibile o kgaogantswe gape. What does this mean to OP ka gore ke yone tota ile responsible go kgaoganya le go leka go alaina ka ha e batlang go align ka teng.
Thank you, through you, Mr.
In
Chairman.
your political question, I don't know, but I mean, as a leader in that ministry, if you go to America, like for instance, foreign policy America is very clear. Whether it's Trump or who, the foreign policy is the same. This is where I'm going. I'm trying to put you, or don't you see it in that line? Thank you.
Please attempt to respond.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Pierce, in addition to his question, is there a consultative process before this happens? Are you consulted such that you may prefer advice, if any? But is there a consultative process?
Thank you, sir.
Maitso, leka go araba dithata tse ke a di utlwa. Le bone ba itse gore dithata.
Ba itse gore dithata, sir. But if you recall, sir, this question was also asked to me the first time I appeared here. And the answer that I gave then, Ghana, everybody who comes and all the changes that are done, they are done to improve service delivery. They are done to improve alignment and synergy. So every person who gets in the seat of power has got strategies of how he wants to run their government. And if they believe to create a synergy of putting this ministry with this one, that is how best I'm going to deliver to the nation, they will do that. And I think I can just go, like Mudula Stilo says, some of the issues are really beyond civil servants. And the other thing is there consultation. Yes, there's consultation, but the consultation can NLD level at Ione. Consulting, and then they will give it also to some of the experts in the area of rationalization and of the organizational structures. They do consult them, and then that is where all the new synergies are created and are given. So,
yeah, it is. But Kori, now the angle that I was coming from, the consultation, yeah. Kori, Ministry o kopantse kamoso o kgaogantse kamoso o kopantse kamoso o
Chairman, point of something, point of clarity.
Yeah, make the point.
I think let's be careful. My dear friend, Honorable Mutausan, on our policy, foreign policy, America. Change a new regime. I think that's a bit misleading. I just googled now what it does.
Mudula still is it allowed? Is it allowed?
Hey, Diarabe.
Yeah, I'm begging Hitera Morex. Can I get Ryan?
Coralum Kuturikaran Chairman. In Katia statement, the Gilimonaki, sell wrong, Sere Chekapatu. One of us, on a right out in Yahawan Nayalo. Kana, my dear Honorable MP, are a game policy. Botswana, the change a new regime. About America.
Foreign policy. Yeah.
Foreign policy.
Honorable Chair.
Yeah, I'm on floor.
Honorable Chair. No, Honorable Chair. I think this is wrong. This is a committee issue. Honorable, if he has something to discuss, he can discuss outside my interviews. Kana ha iriana, I'm going to.
It's an agriculture bua. I hate it. Has no way. I will enter the kibua.
Maramulestella, I went around 1,000.
I don't think they're supposed to go. I don't think they're supposed to be there.
Can you persuade it, Honorable?
My point, Chairman, people are listening to us. Yes. And then, I'm a Honorable Mutasan. People are listening to us. If I make a statement,
can we?
And if I make a statement, Cecily wrong in many ways, I should not be allowed to reckon it. Kana are policy ya Botswana, ya foreign policy. King change a new government. Abare, ko America, policy, foreign policy. High change.
Marian, Kiriano, Kanya statement is around 1,000. Kanya debate to Uncle Back. You know, Gugu saying, Ukatuarialo, who want to hold a different view. So, Are Dumala Nehor, around 1,000 at Seneca intervention, I have a hello. Rohu Tulasibu Uncle, Nya, Hawan Najalo, that's fine. Are to let it, foreign policy, America change.
It's a fact. Policy, America change. I was a new president.
Granted. Yeah.
So we can't be debating that.
Yes, that is.
It's a reality.
Honorable Dawson, is your turn. It's your chance to speak.
In terms of advice, one way, or harin rehetola, mapata. Hongori pitela written the Koheska year, the Ministry of Higher Education. Holebeha, who is on Ministry of Higher Education. Can I say staff says sanity or Cabeseta and Simutusa, what I'm PAC? It's not even there. Me, one cannot talk over Haki week or mento a humpy no hair. Kibu Alecao hitiliore, irreretena, ha Nalidi Petoten, Ministry Medie. Rahela reko panse motsele gompieno re bona di nnete go e kgaoganya ko dilo tsena. To me, they should be standard kore re itse gore di ministry ya ka dintse ana ha re o tsena le ena wa itse gore any improvement ya batang go dira o ka e dira but go change kore tsa ska ile ha o tangwana go schooleng tota. Yesterday no morare gona le Ministry of Higher Education last Kamuso morare ki ministry or education what what. That is where I'm coming from. So the advice,
my estimation, you have made the point. It's only that for when
it's beyond the head.
Final say on it. But
yes,
there's an issue around there which we also must engage as politicians.
Yes.
I think you have made that point. You have made it before. I think it's made. I think let's move forward.
You probably don't need to answer it, but as an advisor in the ministry, think about
it. Think about it. We also engage as politicians.
Yes.
Because on the point, footprint I think that's the point he's trying to make. Ultimately. So, yeah. Milwena, you are an advisor in government. Yeah. So, how Nale Kakanyo di Chana to the Termo Babangwe, Ukawana Rudi, Uditanya would influence decision making. Canal Matalia influencer, my political. How would you learn my mona by it or like a one of influencer, like a one of a call that you have a stack about a colo. It's a year when me have a stack about a dira, Alessio, 3 Rajaro Lima politi. Me rabi le batbes mamregis o tahala bobedi wa kholele energy kalo ya go taha makgethale mabedi ya go bonolo kana gape le tiro ko ya go bata re tatswa re go botsa ka motho gape re tiro ya no bona ro la theletse tiro re go kholele sone se go go kgonne go gore bona e le kgethela bobedi mme re tse di builweng a empo e se ka nna kgang hela ya gore ne go tile PAC go ne go tilwe PAC be e le gore go a buiwa go bo go hetswa bo go phatalalwa go iwa lunching e be e le gore go tata go emelwa PAC e nngwe. Please follow up on the issues tse go builweng ka tsone. Ga yone ya masole e rights o na le ha ba re kana ke mang?
Brigadier Siana.
Brigadier. Na kana bo go le brigadier le moya. Brigadier. Ga ye ya masole ya re tshwenya kone. Wa ba bona ma parlamente one la se ong han. Ga ye ya go go di ofising tsa bona. Gore yang ba bangwe ba duetswe bona ha ba duelwa. Use everything in your power. E go persuade ba ba tshwanetse go duela. Gore ba the budget for these people. It's a very, very important matter. E re sa tshwanela go etsa bonolo. Tse dingwe le di utule ya no nai ba nne ba budiwa ke ona gore kgonegile a re ke ba e leng gore gongwe ba tlhokagetse. Ya no ha go utwe go te ba taya go master ne ba ka sa ba ke tshoganyana. Gore kana master le ene o go ba dia gape gone ka. Gore ha go utwe go te ba tuo ya kong. Ya no ke ipotsa gore ha one madi a bona a teng kong go tsa jang. Ke sa is an issue for another day. Ba go ba tsaya gore ke ngwa ke rate master nya ke modirela puso o bereka ha bereka ntemme di kgantsa go di a diega thata. A re tsweleleng batho betso re tsene mo dikganyeng tsa madi di table tsa madi. People should also realize that, you see, the governance issues that we are talking about have a bearing also on the financials. Because so no about gongwe ministry bloated the department ga dina batho hela jalo ke di khante di amang madi le tsone re tshwantse ra skara la sala ko morago. Me all our advisors, are you ready for the financials? Technical advisor, AG, Attorney General, Accountant General, and Auditor General. Are you all ready? If you are, Honorable Lesedi, can you take us to the memorandum of progress?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Rago similar more page 18 of our booklet. More. Yes, Chairman. Page number 18, right, Page number 19, Brighton. Number 2, we memo. Ma?
Page 18, everything was done in 23-24.
Yes, sir.
So I think memo is appropriate.
Honorable Sedi,
yes, sir.
Page 18, are you?
No, Mr. Chairman, because to la didn't say I know it like the balances, the balances. So I thought to Horaka had not the balance. Me, market say,
number here, but I
know.
It's what the hell in the memo, more page 18. Okay. Honorable Sedi?
Yes, sir. Nikere Hongwe Parago page 19. Retse Yantari Twale ya Brighton. Ego tasivere to halele memo.
Chemoko yone o ya ga Brighton. Ba kwadile gore the matter was considered for write-off on the 8th of December 2022, as the Attorney General's chambers could not locate Mr. and was finally closed by Ministry of Finance. Kurhara bona our communication in
page 19.
Authority for write-off R.
Okay.
Khabaya attach as evidence.
The authority for write-off by Minister of Finance.
R.
Article na le dirle agriculture na le tsone.
R. Kurine kitse go gongwe ba tshwantse go attach that letter as part of evidence.
Can we now take it to the financial controller?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, Harabana Mukwalo Jongo Accountant General, but the result of the Accountant General has acceded to our request as the right channel was taken. And indeed, more asking era appear account, it shows that it's a close matter. It's just to the public accounts.
Yeah, I can't have a sort of high lower back city, the center on the somewhere and the Supanjan.
Normally, but more representative, but I look chairman right to Mukwalo as evidence of Takupa.
A Mukwalo thing, Rahobon, how to occupy a Goluna.
Rakataro for the secretariat.
Okay. Aradumalan Rahon.
Sorry, Che. I get to get spelling ya no ha. Eno kareke maina mabidia harlohani. Kahana de manunure, kahana ke manyonyore. Gongwe go tlhoka gore go banka ngwe the correct name.
True, sir. Lemogile go go ra haraba ka ga ya swanona manyunyuri. Iswantsona manunuri with you.
E ya manyunyuri asolone.
Era horare.
Le mo comments ga solone. So we can correct the little more comments here. What a little see a mingile. Nyagatswane, on a lemanure. On a lemanure le manure. Which is the correct one? I think that's what we need. Okay. So little more commenting, you just need to correct that one, right? Thank you very much. We can proceed. Honorable Lesedi.
Yes, sir. Mirror Marego, page 20. Page 20. We only close number 2. No, we close number 2. Number 1 and number 3, we memo. Page 21, dealt with. Page 22 dealt with, Mr. Chairman. Page 23, we leave them earlier dealt with. Page 24 also dealt with. Page 25, we monitor. 26, we monitor, Chairman. Page 27, we monitor.
Sorry, on page 27. Mo table ya bobedi ha Botswana Defence Force percentage ha ke 47 but percentage ko executive summary ke 43 on page 16 ke indi ka re di avaria.
Thank you, Honorable Kgonegile, for that observation. Taborere ditse Chief Accountant.
Chief Accountant.
Thank you, sir. Okay, my thinking was the 47 is the correct, probably Kakwara Capture Center Chairman. Kakwa Executive fee. Okay, all right. Thank you, Chair. I think it's just the addition, Chair. The figure is wrong, because if we recalculate and probably come up with.
I think the 43 was for the overall ministry, including all Mapata Hotel headquarters.
Thank you, I'm covered.
Okay, that's fine. Honorable Sedi.
Thank you, Chairman. Nerlogo page 28, the above table, monitor. Then Kotase from paragraph 20, dealt with. Page 29, we monitor. Page 30, We close for number 2, Shumba projects. The rest we monitor. Page 31, Mr. Chairman. We close number 11, number 14, and number 17. The rest we monitor. Page 32, we monitor, Chairman. Page 33, from number 1 to number 4, dealt with. Confiscated assets trust. We monitor. Page 33. Number 6 to number 9, those are dealt with. Table A, we monitor. Then we move to page 34. Table A, we monitor, Mr. Chairman. Can I get some of Yeah, Mr. Chairman, una kilang khakolla me gongwa ga ke tsora ke gona ha re teng yano.
If there was a next time, I would have said, or this analysis we did run for the different what we did separately on a separate one, so that when we get here, nenka be re bua ya la ka those headquarters. Me re bone hana gore this figure e ke a BDF ke a BDF.
Madam Technical Advisor, buela go dimo le ram 1000 on the other end. Just explain.
No, make advisor the accountant tell gore if there was a next time, we like for ministry ona cause o ka gantswa ke re ka the different accounting offices gore nka ba dirile separate like paper yala e supang gore mo balancing yen this one ke a BDF na ke a in, and then on this report you just bua ka tsa headquarters here.
No re ska monitorers.
Let's just talk about what relates to headquarters.
Police.
No, they've been dealt with.
Okay.
Police, BDF,
oh, okay. Basically, what she's advising is that because it's a delay, it's a police, it's a BDF, so I concentrate them more. It's a headquarters here. Is that appreciated? Understood, probably say.
No, ke amotaloganyo ko re na e thought gore gora gore ha dile ha ra ira sengwe mo go tsone, but advice ya go ke a e utlwisisa.
Kore na they have been dealt with.
Yes.
So if they have been dealt with, so then we may proceed without them because they're already done.
We can proceed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Page
34, table Ekutasiu. Let's close it. Page 35, we are closing number 3, 4, 5, 6. The rest, we already monitor, Mr. Chairman. Page 36, the whole page we monitor. Page 37, the whole page we monitor. Page 38, number 3, table Yahagodimo, we close. Then from number, able to say table number 20 or 19, 21, we dealt with. Hora ra hita ka gore table eo ke ya BDF. Hora gore ra hita ko page 39 ka gore table eo ke ya police presence and BDF. Hora ra ko page 40. Page 40 from number 1 to number 7 we close, Mr. Chairman. We on a withholding tax, rental, where it's still dealt with. Table e ko taseo right to hela ya Botswana Defence Force and Botswana Police. Ko page 41. Table e ko demo. We close it. Table e hagareo we monitor it. No right to hela. Ka re ke yone ya ba Botswana Defence Force and Police Service. Right to hela, Mr. Chairman. Of advance accounts dealt with. Page 42.
The table is in. So just showing an analysis, which is showing an analysis of the totals. It's an element of the table.
Continue research.
Yeah, I get a table like I can know advice I can told.
Department, what? She's just giving an analysis. Yeah, it's really time to the headquarters. It's only so that one and goes disupileka. More analysis here. But if it's confusing, let's just continue.
Arago page 42. Under table N. A justification for recovery of areas of revenue headquarters. That table, it's memo.
Saubona.
On that table, 1 and 2 we close. We memo 3 to 6 and close 7 to 11.
We close 5 as well.
Okay, let's continue. Honorable Sedi.
Tshwantse be ke sa utlwa accountant general kore nna ke dumela gore ra go togela ya number 3 le ya number 4 le ya number 6 le ya number 8 no le ya number 10. The rest ke tsone tse ke reng ke di memo le ya number 1 le number 2 a ke sure kana go to financial year wa 23-24 ga ke tsene o re tswa le dise o ka re o ntogela yaanong ke le mo nageng.
Accountant General.
Number 1.
Key memo, 2 key memo, 3 memo, then we close 4 and 5, we memo 6, then close 7, 8, and 9, then we memo 10 and close 11.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 4 and 5. No, it's in 5. 4. Can I lay outstanding balance?
But it was within the.
How do I?
It was within the closing balance. Like, 4.
4.
But receipt is super 22-23. It's within, we can close.
It's within. Yeah. In the balance of Honorable said.
e 150 kana a ke re tshwantse re tsamaele 00 o le ka nthale re
They say on the last page they say amount settled, but you are saying 150 that show a balance, right?
Yes, sir.
That's his contention, though. Are it's all 150 ka?
No, I kry le gore gongwe go kwalegile yalo ka phoso ke ra gore go tshentse gore go nne very clear ke ra re ena le balance le like re la e bona.
There is a balance, Accountant General. Ki yone o e tswala ena le balance ya 150.
The receipt di suggest gore it clear.
Ke sone se honorable se di are ha e le go phoso ngwe e diraetse. Are nne clear la nya go phoso e diraetse di receipt tsone they point to the contrary.
Go ntse alo ke phoso ke dumela gore ke phoso ba tshwantse gore ba ipotisetse ka kuri in scan na le closing balance.
Scan na le 150 yo. Nya mi tsa rona we tshwere sent honorable se. Gore ha ke a tswela ntse na le balance ka ha bo go tianong nya go tswetse.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman.
Ra go lesen da ngore madi a tsietsa. Na kere honorable Mr. Obon.
Puntse ro
cha na re bona balance ka ha na le honorable le se diano re simola go thobela ona. Se dingwe di a cancel wa are tswela honorable se.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Ra go page 44. Page 44. We monitor number 1 for its own name, number 2, number 3, then number 4 we close. Ma?
One is memo. No relem on it.
Homer's statement number 22.
We saw them all.
Okay, honorable. That's fine. 22 we monitor.
Ki one honorable se. You monitor.
Yes, sir, we monitor.
O dumalana le wena a re tswele.
Yes. Ne ke re tswala ya ga Pandora ya number 4.
Number 4 ki one tswala.
Then the pages tse di latelang obviously re ta borna le page headquarters ga ke re kra di table a ke re me ga tere di tole for re ta bora go page 46. Page 46 is headquarters. We monitor. 47 we monitor. The whole tables, more page in your thing. 48 we also no right to lie. Botswana Defense Force Police and also page 49 relevant table e hagare we monitor it ke one le re leba then ha re ya ko page ya bohelo ya 50 ha re di spam go yona ra etola di ne di e le yone page ya bohelo Mr. Chairman ka
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then we go to. Okay. We done? The last page is page 50.
Yes, sir.
Ah, okay. Kita gore re na ko ya rona ya re go hai. Na ko ya re 1. Ke yone na ko ya lunch to. Ko se ro ya gre price. 1 ke yone na ko ya lunch to. Na ko ya re 1 mamrekisi. Re go tara gore re tsene mo dijong tsa motshegare la le dio ba tsetso le thotse le rona mo honorable members go tsena ya minerals gora gore e re ka 2 re bo re le ha re re bua le ba minerals le ka itse gore meapo e rae mo matshelong a lehatshe la Botswana le Batswana go raya gore le ipaakanyeditse go engage ke a leboga batho beso a reng ko dijong tsa motshegare.